south to Murfreesboro, Tennessee. But it's the first time in 15 years that the Austin Peay Governors have taken on the Blue Raiders of Middle Tennessee in what should be a great Week 1 showdown in an all-volunteer state home opener. Hi, everybody, and welcome inside the booth at Floyd Stadium with the playmaker, Jeremy Kellum. I'm Jake Rose. Thanks for hanging out with us on a Tennessee Saturday night. Middle Tennessee hosting Austin Peay for the season opener here at the renovated Floyd Stadium here in Murfreesboro. And, Jeremy, we've got two programs that are in similar situations. We've got two coaches in their second years, and both of these teams have a ton of new players, 135 new faces on these respective sidelines. Now, starting with Middle Tennessee, there's a lot of excitement here in Murfreesboro, and we've got the whiteout here tonight to prove it.
You're right, man. We got an opportunity to talk to Coach Mason this week. He's so excited about year 2 because he said that this team is player-led, which is going to give him another opportunity, a great opportunity to coach more this season. And if you look at the type of players he brought in on the offensive line, but specifically in the skill position area, they're tall, they're long, they're fast, 6'2", 6'3". They look like a SEC Big 12 type of skill position group, which he's used to coaching in those conferences. But we'll see tonight if the Blue Raiders will have an opportunity to compete for a Conference USA championship.
And on the other sideline in red, Jeff Ferris, his second year in Clarksville, the longtime assistant at Duke and UCLA, and he's putting his stamp on this program as well. 73 new Govs on the roster this year for Jeff Ferris.
A lot of new players for Coach Ferris, but he's excited too about year 2. And talking to wide receiver coach, Coach Shook, he said the greatest thing about Coach Ferris is that he's consistent. He consistently pours into his players and coaches, and that allows them to build trust very fast with a new team. And so we'll get to see if that trust pays dividends tonight and be able to see what type of team the Governors are and what they have an opportunity to compete for a conference championship this year as well.
Number 22.
Austin Peay has won the toss and deferred to the second half, so the Govs will kick off to Middle Tennessee to start this one here in Murfreesboro. A beautiful night for football. Temperatures in the mid-80s, not a cloud in the sky, and we are rolling from Murfreesboro. And the opening kick from the freshman Carson Smith will get Middle Tennessee started at their own 25-yard line. And we mentioned the excitement around this Middle Tennessee team, and a lot of that excitement comes from this offense with Nick Vattiato, the quarterback, one of the most experienced quarterbacks in college football, coming back, and a lot of new weapons to play with on offense.
A lot of new weapons, long, lengthy weapons, very fast skill group, and we'll be able to see if Coach Reeder and Nick Vattiato uses those weapons tonight.
Vattiato starting with an empty backfield shotgun formation, throwing on first down, a long throw to the far side of the field, and that's one of those new targets, the transfer from Michigan, Amarion Walker.
And that's right there, right off the bat. That's a confidence throw. Nick Vattiato on the opposite hash throws a deep comeback to his new receiver, and I like what you see right there in the first pass.
Added a lot of length, a lot of speed and athleticism in the portal in that wide receiver room, did Middle Tennessee, as the second down handoff is going absolutely nowhere. Big push up front. Blackwell met Jaquel Middlebrook right at the line of scrimmage.
And when you look at the Governors, they run a 4-2-5, which makes them a little susceptible at a middle run or a quick dive. But right there on second down, coming up big.
So already a quick third down and medium for Middle Tennessee on the opening drive. Here it's 3rd and 5. Middlebrook in the backfield with Vattiato. Three-man rush, Vattiato over the middle, and it's dropped. It's Middlebrook out of the backfield, had the first down. And it's going to be a very quick 3-and-out for Middle Tennessee to start the 2025 season.
And when just talking to Coach Mason, you know last year that you had a lot of quick 3-and-outs, and coming out first drive of the season, the first thing you don't want to do is have a quick 3-and-out. And you see which should have been a completed pass to Middlebrook. The play was there, but Middle Tennessee was unable to execute on that third down.
Ashton Logan, one of the new special teams players for Middle Tennessee, out to punt. takes a favorable Austin Peay bounce, and the Govs will have nice field position at the own 36, 37-yard line. And just a minute and a half taken off the clock on that first drive for Middle Tennessee's offense.
And we talk about coming into the first game of the season. These two teams haven't played in over 10 years. And so you don't have film from the previous week because it is the first game of the season. And the first couple drives will be a fill-out drive to see what the coordinators are going to go with. But that's a great first defensive stop right there for the Governors.
And making his first career start for Austin Peay is Chris Parson, the transfer from Mississippi State. He's going to tuck it, and that ball is loose. It's on the turf, and diving on it was Zach Bowden. So it'll be a pickup of about 5. And laying the hit for Middle Tennessee, Alex Mitchell, the inside linebacker. One of those new faces for Middle Tennessee, transfer from Chattanooga. But the Govs stay alive here on the opening drive. Replay, handoff right up the middle, and a big hole for Cortland Simmons, the running back.
And when you look at MTSU's defense, their focus going into this offseason, going into the spring, was to shore up the D-line and the interior as far as the linebackers. And when you give up a big run like that, you got to be licking your chops if you are Austin Peay, knowing that, hey, maybe you might be able to run the ball this game.
First down and 10. Parson, pressure, got to get rid of it. He's going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage for the sack. A handful of Blue Raiders were there, including DeMonte Smith.
And what a great job right there. We like to call that a coverage sack. Parsons looking downfield, unable to find an open target. But instead of getting rid of it, he settled the sack, giving him a second and long right here.
Shakai Woods and Reggie Johnson in there as well. So now it's second and long for the Govs. Parson on the keeper finds a little room, and he stood up at about the 45-yard line. Jawan Gaston, transfer from Houston, getting the start at strong safety, getting the stop. This is an Austin Peay offense that only returns 2 starters from last year's team that went 4-8 and 3-5 in the United Athletic Conference. And now it's a third and long, 3rd and 8 for Austin Peay here on the opening drive. Simmons the back in motion. Parson stepping up, looking near sideline. And it's caught. Shamar Kirk breaking free. Might have got dragged down by the face mask, but it doesn't matter either way. It's a big play for the Cubs.
And right, a great job by Shamar Kirk right there. Initially bobbling the catch, but being able to gain full possession and then make a nice move, picking up a first down for the Govs.
A lot of new faces for both of these wide receiver rooms. In fact, it's an entirely new wide receiving core for Austin Peay this year. No depth chart. All the positions are still being fought for. Shamar Kirk making his presence felt here early for the Govs as this handoff to Sutton.
And what a great play right there by Parker Hughes, scraping the line of scrimmage from his linebacker position, coming up with a nice stop right there for the Blue Raiders defense.
That's Simmons. So another second down coming up for the Govs. 2nd and 8, a lot of motion. Seventh play of the drive. Parson, empty set, looking across the middle, touchdown! Jaden Robinson, the transfer from Kennesaw State, and the Govs march it right down the field and put up 6 on Middle.
And you see right here, they set up Robinson with the motion, letting him condense his split, which allows him to get this correct spacing to run the post route. And boy, did he run it. Nice route, great hands into pay dirt.
And the first career touchdown pass for Chris Parson, the product of Brentwood, Tennessee. Played ball at Ravenwood High School before getting recruited to Mississippi State by Mike Leach, as Carson Smith tacks on the extra point, and the Govs coming out swinging here in the first quarter. Okay.
In the second quarter.
Seven plays, 63 yards, 3 minutes, 51 seconds taken off the clock. Jaden Robinson, his first career touchdown catch on the first career touchdown throw from Chris Parson. And Jeremy, Austin Peay went right down the field and scored on Middle Tennessee.
A great job by Coach Ferris and Parsons with his first career touchdown pass, and that's the way you want to start the opening game. You're playing a FBS opponent, in-state opponent, which a lot of it is on the line in this game when you talk about recruiting and having state pride. And so that's how you want to start the game. And if you're MTSU, you have to come out and get points on this drive right now, because you can't afford to fall behind by 2 scores in the open quarter.
See what the response is from the Middle Tennessee offense. Vadiato throwing on first down. That ball tipped in the air and almost intercepted. Dangerous throw from Vadiato, but good defense by the Govs. Blackwell in there to make the play.
And right now you're seeing great coverage by the Govs, tip balls, players, multiple Governor defenders are around the play, which means that they're flying to the ball. They're playing sound, they're playing discipline early in this first quarter.
Middlebrook on the keeper, near sideline, a lot of room in front of him, and a big pickup for Middle Tennessee on second down. And when we were talking to Derek Mason earlier in the week, he said I feel like we have a secret weapon in Ja'Kale Middlebrook this year. Not a lot of people talking about him coming into Conference USA this year, but he's going to turn some heads. That's what Derek Mason told us.
Yes, he did. He said that he believes he's the best player on the field, and he expects to get him about 25 touches this game. And we see why on that play right there.
Yeah, try to do it in a multitude of ways as well, out of the backfield, like right here, as that pass is pretty hot coming off the hand of Vadiato. And so that'll bring up 2nd down and 10. And Vadiato's got to be careful on throws like that behind the line of scrimmage.
And I think that right now, if you're the Blue Raiders and Coach Reeder, the OC for the Blue Raiders, you want to have more success on 1st down, which allows them to be ahead of the sticks and open up your playbook. But 2nd and 10 makes you a little more predictable, knowing that you're probably going to pass.
3 wide. Bit of a miscommunication from Vadiato and Middlebrook, and Middle is lucky to not have turned over that football.
You're right, and that's something that you see normally a lot of times in the first game of the season, early in the season, where, especially when you're running RPOs in the mesh point, does the quarterback let it go? Does the quarterback keep it? Does the running back take it? And you see that confusion a lot of times causes fumbles, but right there, it did not cause a fumble, but it did lose the Blue Raiders some yards right there.
It's the 2nd time in as many plays as Vadiato and Middlebrook not on the same page, and now that brings up 3rd down and 12. Goes back out of the blitz. Vadiato, long shot down the field and well overshoots his intended target as one of the officials is down at midfield. That's Gavin Darr, our umpire, who is getting checked on by the rest of the crew. Took a shot. And he's up on his feet and headed to the sideline to get checked out by the Middle Tennessee training staff. But yet again, Jeremy, another quick exit for this Middle Tennessee offense.
You're right, and you look at that play, and I know we don't have the replay right there, but great job by Javius Bunn at his cornerback position. The receiver ran a post route, but he was able to be physical enough to make the receiver keep it skinny and not get upfield. When you see that Nick Vadiato was expecting the receiver to continue upfield and the ball ended up going over. But great job by the Governor defense, defensive backs, just everybody playing collective and playing as a collective, being very physical.
So Ashton Logan, the transfer from Oklahoma, out to punt. Long spiraling punt and a fair catch called for inside the 10 by Javius Bunn, and we will step aside. 8:11 to go here in the 1st.
Murfreesboro Medical Clinic has been a cornerstone of health and compassion in our community. From our humble beginnings to the advanced, comprehensive care we offer today, our commitment to you has never wavered. With 8 locations across Murfreesboro and Middle Tennessee and over 100 physicians, we continue to provide the highest standard of care. Then, now, and always, your health is our mission.
Okay, Lightning, it's your turn. Come on back.
How's it going, man? I'm Dr. Hensley. Nice to meet you. Just gonna take a look at your teeth, okay? Oh, very nice. Wow, look at those teeth. Those look great, Lightning. I don't see any cavities in there.
All right, Lightning, no cavities. You're good for today. Here's your bag.
I work with Warren County Nursery here in McMinnville, Tennessee.
I'm very passionate about the hay because that's how I take care of my cows.
So I farm here with my dad.
We raise primarily corn, soybeans, and wheat. By having that in my background and knowing what the customer expects, I know how to cater to the customer.
We're here to provide solutions for our customers.
Going through some of those challenging experiences help you understand maybe the position they're coming from.
As student athletes, we push ourselves to be our best.
On and off the field.
When the game is on the line, mental health matters.
It's okay not to be okay.
Of the 500,000 student athletes in the NCAA,
nearly 20% say they are suffering from depression or anxiety.
It is time to break the stigma.
Strong minds lead to strong performances.
Let's support each other and talk about mental health.
Together, there are no limits on us.
'52nd all-time meeting between Middle Tennessee and Austin Peay. Middle Tennessee has won 12 straight. However, these two teams have not played one another since 2010. But this rivalry goes back a long, long time, all the way back to 1936. Middle Tennessee won that first game 27-0. And of course, these teams played against one another for a very, very long time, pretty much annually. When they were both in the Ohio Valley Conference, played every year from 1963 to 1997, 34 straight years when they were both in the OVC. First down carry from Javius Bond, and that's number 2 for Austin Peay. He's going to be their punt returner. He's going to be their running back. He's going to line up in the slot. He'll line up as a wide receiver. Oh, and he also plays defense as well.
Yeah, he's the one that had that great coverage on that last third down when the Governors on defense.
Parsons to throw, in trouble in his own end zone, has to get rid of it and throws it to the kicking net on the Govs sideline. And now the officials need to talk about whether he was inside the pocket or not.
And that's what happened.
And they're going to say that he was outside the pocket, because if he wasn't, that was going to be a safety.
Yes, and you're right. And that's what having athletic ability at the quarterback position does for you. If Parsons wasn't as athletic, that would have been a safety right there, but he was able to roll out to his left and throw the ball out of bounds.
Now 3rd down and 10, handoff up the middle, nothing doing for Cortland Simmons, and a nice stop up front from Middle Tennessee.
And that's a great job by the front 7 of Middle Tennessee, coming up big. The defense needed this stop right there, and they did. Doing very good against the run. As you see, as a collective group, they played home. They kept gap integrity right there. And Anthony Bynum leading the way for the Blue Raiders on that 3rd down stop.
End over end punt, short punt. Takes a high bounce at about the 45, and then will roll into Middle Tennessee territory, and Middle will take over at about their own 46-yard line. Gavin Myers, the punter, the transfer from Northern Illinois. And Middle Tennessee will start their 3rd drive on the 46-yard line. And Jeremy, you and I were talking during the break. You want to see Middle Tennessee start to establish the drives on the ground first, running the football.
I think you have to establish the run, because the run is going to open up the pass. You don't want to be predictable as an offense. And right now, we've seen them come out, throw the ball on 1st down each possession.
Five on the play clock. Vadiato gets it off. He's going to tuck it, and he's going to be close to a 1st down into Govs territory. Going to be just short, but a nice read on the read play from Vadiato.
Yes, you see the RPO, and a lot of times that gets lost in Nick Vadiato's game, because we look at how well he did as a passer last year. But don't forget, he is athletic. He is from South Florida, the crib, and he's able to show off his wheels right there.
Vadiato, 3rd straight season opener for Middle Tennessee as the starter, throwing on 2nd and medium, and just off the timing with Gamarion Carter. So another 3rd down coming up for Middle Tennessee here in the 1st quarter. And they are already 0 for 2 on 3rd downs.
And I think the Blue Raiders, they really desperately need a 1st down right here. One, it would get you over across, they're already across midfield, but just kind of get you further down the field, and allows you to build some confidence. Consistency builds confidence, and right now, the Blue Raiders have not been able to consistently put drives together early in this game.
Empty set for Vadiato at zone 47. Looking across the middle, and again off the hands of the intended receiver. And Vadiato and his receivers just a tick out of sync right now.
And you see Nick Badiato pointing, saying because they were in zone, and the receiver, he was about to throw it in the first window, but he waited. But the receiver kind of hesitated, which did not allow him to be able to make that catch. But you can see just first game jitters, first game just the lack of continuity between the quarterback and the receiver. And the Blue Raiders, they have to pick up on that execution because right now they're struggling on offense.
Offense on the field for 4th down and 4. Vadiato throwing across the middle again and again off the hands of another intended receiver. That's Cam Lacey again. And this offense for Middle Tennessee is out of sync here in the first quarter as we will step aside. Govs on top by 7. There's a look at number 7, Brendan Harris, in his 8th year playing FBS college football. One of 3 players in the FBS, along with Syracuse's David Reese and Indiana's Solomon Van Horst. And of course, Middle Tennessee also has Ellis Adams, who's in his 7th year of college football, one of about 24 players in the FBS to play their 7th year. But welcome to college football in 2025. The few holdovers from the COVID years. Maybe you've got a red shirt in there, a medical hardship like Brendan Harris. He started his career at Vandy, was there for 4 years. That's actually where he linked up with Derek Mason the first time. Then transferred to Wake Forest for a couple of years, and he's been here in Murfreesboro for the last 2. So there's a lot of grown men out there on that field here in 2025.
You're right, man. I graduated at 21, so if I got a couple more years, that would have been fun, man. But it's kind of, you're seeing that more and more, like you say, with the COVID year and then the medical red shirt years. So it's understandable when you start to get up there. You could see how a particular player, student athlete, ends up, in college for more than 4 to 5 years.
You know, a lot of guys go to college for 7 years. Yeah, they're called doctors. And now college football players. 3rd down and 9 coming up for the Govs. Chris Parson trying to move the chains. 5 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. His Govs on top by 7. Throwing on 3rd down, running out of time. Near sideline, gonna tuck it, leaping, and takes a shot right in front of that Middle Tennessee sideline, but he's gonna be just shy of the line to gain. So Middle Tennessee forces a 4th down, and this Govs offense is not showing any indication of getting off the field.
Yeah, I think as Austin Peay, you have nothing to lose. You're going against an FBS opponent. You're here to win. And you have the momentum. The momentum right now wears an Austin Peay jersey. And right now, if you get this first down, you just continue to build on the momentum that you have and gives you an opportunity to extend your lead.
So now it's 4th down and 2. Govs have the ball on Middle Tennessee's 45-yard line. Parson to the left, option. Now he's going to drop back to throw. Dancing behind the line, across the middle, checks down. Going to be really close to the line to gain. And we're going to move the chains. Jackson Head, the tight end, the transfer from Gardner Webb in his 2nd year for the Govs. But how about the playmaking ability from Chris Parson? And man, he put that on the money, on his back foot, fading away. And Jeff Ferris told us earlier this week, he's like, hey, I know everybody knows, or they only think of Chris Parson as this electric runner, and he is, but he is a thrower first.
He really is, and you can just tell him using his athletic ability to scramble, not to run, but to throw.
Bond getting the handoff and dancing his way to a pickup of at least 6, as there's an injured Blue Raider on the field. Deep in the secondary. Derek Mason and the training staff out to check on the injured Blue Raider. And they are, looks like they're calling for a little more assistance, and can't really see who it is that is down for Middle Tennessee. So we will step aside and we will fill you in on the other side of the break. Middle trails on their own home turf by 7. The injured Blue Raider is still being tended to on the field. Still can't get a good look at a number. But the medical staff is down there doing their best to take care of him. And just got word that it is Kevin Minifield, number 23, the redshirt sophomore cornerback from Chandler, Arizona, that is down on the turf for Middle Tennessee. And we saw the Blue Raider sideline take a knee before we went to break, as the staff has got him up on his feet, and that is a great sign. But you see there his right arm in that air cast and being consoled by head coach Derek Mason. And yeah, that's tough for week 1. That's tough for any part of the year. So it is 2nd down and 5. Austin Peay has the ball on Middle Tennessee's 37 after picking up a big 4th and 2. Thanks to Chris Parson getting a little creative in the backfield and finding Jackson Head for the first down a couple of plays ago. And Javius Bond picking up 5 yards on the run on the previous play to make it 2nd down and 5. So here we are. If you're just joining us, the Govs on top after a 22-yard pass from Chris Parson to Jaden Robinson on their opening drive. And they are already pushing towards the end zone here as we have 3.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Parson trying to get away from the blitz, running right into it, losing a lot of ground as Anthony Bynum, who's coming off a really big redshirt freshman year, was chasing down Chris Parson.
And what you realize is that athletic players and great players, they cover mistakes on your team. And so because Parsons is so athletic at quarterback, that even though MTSU's defensive line is getting a lot of pressure, Parsons is able to escape and avoid large losses and get rid of the ball because he's so athletic. I'm very impressed with Parsons thus far in this game.
3rd down and 5. Middle bringing 5. Parson, long shot towards the end zone. Has a man caught. And out at the 1-yard line, Shamar Kirk. But Chris Parson putting on a show here in the Borough.
Blur is what they say nowadays when a receiver gets behind a DB on a go route and catches the ball. Great ball placement by Parsons.
36 yards. Parson to Kirk. And now the Govs knocking on the door at the 1-yard line. 1st and goal.
And this is power football right here.
Cortland Simmons in the backfield with Parson. Handoff up the middle. Touchdown, Govs.
The give is to number 11, Cortland Simmons.
And that sound you hear is the contingency from Clarksville that has made the trek down I-24. And the Govs have officially put the Blue Raiders on notice.
Yes, they have. It's no reason to get tricky in the playbook. When you have 1 or 3 yards to go on a gain, it's power football right there. And the Govs have been running the ball effectively all first quarter. And they did once again right there on the touchdown pickup.
The kick is off and it's good. Your new score, Governors 14.
8 plays, 53 yards, 3 minutes and 6 seconds on the scoring drive for the Govs. Wow. And let's check in with the 3rd member of our crew, Justin Beasley. JB, what's going on?
Thank you, Jake. Obviously a tough blow for the Middle Tennessee defense, losing Kevin Minifield in that series. Being down here on the field, I would classify that injury as one you probably don't show a replay of on television. I will tell you, being down here on the sideline, Joshua Smith, the outside linebackers coach, did lead the group in prayer immediately after, a very faith-based driven group. We'll get you the latest on him as we find out, Jake.
Thanks, JB. 8 plays, 53 yards, 3 minutes, 6 seconds. And the big play, Chris Parson finding Shamar Kirk for 36 yards to set up the 1-yard touchdown run for Cortland Simmons, his 2nd career touchdown run. And the Austin Peay Governors trying to be the 2nd team from the UAC to knock off an FBS team in back-to-back nights. Tarleton State knocking off Army last night on a last-second field goal, 30-27. And the UAC trying to say we're nothing to mess with right now. Middle will let it bounce, and they will take over on the 25-yard line. And Jeremy, to put it simple, or as simply as possible, this Middle Tennessee offense, they've got to do something. They haven't moved the ball hardly at all, just 28 total yards in 3 drives.
And the thing about that is that now you're down 14 points, and you you still have a lot of time to be able to establish the run, but does Coach Reeder feel the pressure and start to dial up the pass even more, which really makes them predictable, and that's what we've been seeing. They've been struggling in the past.
Running to the left side and getting brought down. No, still going. Still keeping those puppies churning.
And so, like I said, that it's still a lot of time left to establish the run, and that's what they did. They dialed up the run right here.
It's Ricky Hunt Jr., one of the new faces in the backfield for Middle Tennessee, the transfer from Tulsa. One of a handful of running backs that we're going to see tonight, along with Shaquille Middlebrook and Austin Clemens. Empty set for Vadiato. Vadiato looking long, and there was some confusion for Middle Tennessee off the jump. Looked like the slot receiver thought that he jumped early.
And that's what I think, just looking at that play call, you just ran for a first down. Why not go back to the run again? So now you're in a 2nd and long. And so you're going to try to get a few yards here so you can get in a manageable 3rd down, but why not run the ball? You just ran for literally a first down the play before.
So now 2nd down and 10. Single back is Hunt. He picks up a few. And he will move the ball out to about the 45-yard line. So.
And I think that's a play call. Maybe you call on 1st down.
Yeah.
Now you would have been in the 2nd and 5. And now the playbook is open now. Now you can go RPO, play action, or run it again because you have an extra down. But now you're more than likely have to throw the ball, especially now being empty.
Middle looking for their first 3rd down conversion here on their 4th drive. Here comes the blitz. Vadiato stepping up, running out of time. Slips out of a couple of tackles, but he's going to be brought down at the line of scrimmage. And the Govs defense swarming on that 3rd down.
Yes, they're swarming because when you get in the 3rd and 5, they know, hey, you're probably going to throw. So guess what? We're going to send a safety off the edge to where you don't have time to sit back there and go through 1, 2, 3 reads. No, you got to get out there and run for your life like Nick Vadiato tried to do. So great job all around by the Govs right there, coming up with another 3rd down stop.
Ashton Logan back out to punt for the 2nd time for Middle. Another spiral kick. This time Bond will call for the fair catch with a man in his face at the 12-yard line. So with 33 seconds to go in the 1st quarter, that's where Chris Parson and this offense for the Govs will take over. And Parson has been outstanding. 4 of 7 throwing the football, touchdown. But just being able to extend plays and keep plays alive, to keep drives alive for the Govs. That's where he's made the difference.
And you can see it, like Coach Ferris said, he's not just a running quarterback, that he can actually throw the ball, but you see that his ability to run allows him to not make bad plays worse, and it gets them out of bad situations, saves them from having a lot of lost yardage. And so, man, he's playing a great game thus far for the Govs.
Played 4 games a season ago off the bench as a redshirt freshman down in Starkville. His team takes over 1st down, nothing doing on the 1st down run. Corey Richardson was a backup running back a season ago, one of the running backs fighting for some playing time here tonight for the Govs.
And I think a bright spot, though, for the Blue Raiders, though they're trailing by 14, at the end of this 1st quarter, is their D-line. Their D-line is humping out there. They are getting pressure on the quarterback and limiting that run by the Govs.
So that'll do it for the first frame here in Murfreesboro, and the Govs of the FCS putting the Blue Raiders on upset alert, on top by 2 scores in the Borough. Sun starting to go down on a beautiful night here in the mid-state. Temperatures in the low 80s. Not a cloud in the sky. The rolling hills in the background of Johnny Red Floyd Stadium, and the Govs of Austin Peay FCS squad on top 14-0 on the road here in the season opener against Middle Tennessee, as Javius Bond showing those quick feet, picking up the first down for the Govs. And we told you he's starting cornerback on defense for the Govs, but he came from Eastern Carolina as a running back, so they are trying to mix him in the offense as best they can. Running back, slot receiver, handing the ball off, getting him in the flat on swing plays.
Yeah, a little Travis Hunter-esque. And I think that seeing the success of Travis Hunter really, I think, encourages other coaches to say, why not let my true athletes play on both sides of the ball or in all three phases? And that's what we're seeing with Javius Bond.
Here he is in motion. He's got the ball on the end around near sideline, cutting it up, and will be close to the first down. Excuse me, that's actually Nate Garnett.
And I'm just saying, in the first 16 minutes of this game, and I'm looking at these two squads, and I'm looking at that the Govs, they just look faster.
Yeah.
They look like they're a faster, quicker team out of the two.
Second down, short handoff is to Bond, pushing past the first down marker, and move the chains again for the Govs. And kind of going back to Middle Tennessee's offense, we were talking about, why don't you run the ball on first down a little bit instead of open up your offense a little bit more? And it's kind of the simplicity that we just saw right there with the Govs. 2nd and 1, we're just going to run it right down the middle.
Yes, and I think that even though that the Govs have had success throwing the ball, they understand, hey, let's stay balanced. Let's stay balanced. Let's make them have to defend the run, and then it's going to open us up with the RPOs, the play action passes downfield.
Parson to throw, line holding up. Parson tucks and will slide down awkwardly after a pickup of about 3. But again, that elusiveness, keeping plays alive for Parson.
Chris Parson, a.k.a. just he erases bad plays. He's an eraser, the eraser.
There you go. You were getting there.
Yeah, definitely was getting there. He was an eraser, man. He erases bad plays for the Govs. That should have been a sack right there.
Yeah.
Ends up a 5-yard gain.
Second down, medium. Parson, another keeper, slips out of 1 tackle, falls forward again, and he needed 6, but it looks like he got about 5.5. But again, a very manageable 3rd and 1, and actually it's a first down. So again, the Govs keeping the offense on the field and moving the chains.
So you get a broken play for a 5-yard carry, and then you get a designated QB run for another 5 yards. So you know a play action pass is coming up soon. But the Govs are controlling the clock, dominating this game right now.
First down, play action. Parson stepping up again. Gets loose, across the line of scrimmage, and falls forward for another 7.5 yards. That's almost like how I play on College Football 26. Like, no one's open after 2 seconds, I'm gone.
And as a defender, you hate playing mobile quarterbacks because when you're in man coverage, your back is to the quarterback.
Yeah.
So you're covering your man downfield, and he breaks on the run. When you're in zone, it's so much room and so much space that even when everybody is still covered within the zone, he still has the ability to run for 7-8 yards like he did on that play.
Here's the handoff on 2nd down, going absolutely nowhere.
Number 26, Corey Richardson on the carry.
Felix Hinton was there to meet him first, and now brings up a 3rd down and short for the Govs.
And I think this might be 2-down territory for the Govs. Momentum is on their side. You're running the ball very effectively here. So maybe 2 runs right here to pick up the first down.
As you said earlier, what do you got to lose?
You have nothing to lose. Everything to gain in this in-state battle.
3rd down, 2, handoff up the middle. Going to be close again to the first down. This time it's Cortland Simmons.
The game is good.
Trayvon Farrell banged up after the stop for Middle Tennessee. Met there by Muaz Byard, little brother of Blue Raider great and Pro Bowl safety Kevin Byard. Recent inductee into the Middle Tennessee Athletics Hall of Fame. But it's another first down. So again, the offense keeps on trucking for the Govs. Already on the 10th play of the drive.
And you see the Govs, they aren't in a hurry at all.
No. You're up 14. Why would you be in a hurry?
Not at all, man. They are in control of every aspect of this game thus far.
Yeah, wearing this Blue Raider defense out. Parson taking a shot back shoulder. And in on the coverage for Middle Tennessee, Jackson Lowe. The redshirt freshman from Brentwood, Tennessee. Defending a pass from the quarterback from Brentwood, Tennessee, and Chris Parson, who actually started his high school career at Duncanville High School in Texas. Started in the state championship game as a true freshman. Then his sophomore year transferred to Red Oak High School in Red Oak, Texas. Then moved up north, well, north per se, compared to Texas, to Brentwood, Tennessee, where he starred at Ravenwood High School. Only played 6 games his senior year before he was hurt. And then wound up in Starkville for a couple of years, and now he's put Middle Tennessee on upset alert in his first start in a Govs uniform, as Bond on the end around picks up 1, and it's 3rd down and 9.
And that was a great job by DeMonte Smith from his D-tackle position. And like I said, this has been the best group of position on the field for the Blue Raiders. Their D-line was a question mark last year.
Yeah.
But they've done great recruiting, great development during the offseason, and they're coming up big for the Blue Raiders.
12th play of the drive. 3rd down and 9. Parson to throw. Here comes the blitz. Bond out of the backfield, slides out of 1 tackle, and another first down. And the Govs keeping it moving on a big 3rd and 9 conversion. As DC Brian Stewart brought the blitz, but Parson played it perfectly.
And great job, great execution by Parsons, making it look like a traditional drop back, but knowing he was just buying time for Buns to be able to come across the formation, to be able to drop it off on a screen route. And that was a great job by the Hogs up front, leading the way, and a great pickup right there on 3rd down.
1st and 10 on the 32 for the Govs. Handoff near side. There's room to run. Ball is out. He picks it up. Corey Richardson picking up his own fumble. And Middle needed that. But that's just the way that the ball has bounced.
Literally.
Yeah, for the Govs so far here tonight.
And Coach Mason talked about creating more takeaways, and we've seen 2 balls pop out so far. MTSU defense coming up, making good form-fitting tackles, but just unfortunately for them have not been able to recover those fumbles yet.
Devin Carlisle was the cornerback that knocked it out of the hands of Richardson, and I think we're going to have our first flag of the evening. Check in with our officiating crew. Referee tonight, Rory Bernard. Thing that's gone right for this Middle Tennessee defense here in the first half. So a delay of game penalty will move Austin Peay back 5 yards after the pickup of 17 by Corey Richardson. So now 1st and 15, ball on the 20. Govs trying to make this a 3-score game on the road. Parson on the read, firing across the middle, and behind his receiver, Nate Garnett. Great defense by Abdul Muhammad. one of the returning cornerbacks for Middle Tennessee here in year number 2 of Derek Mason.
And that was a great job by Muhammad on the slant route, being able to close the distance and being able to get his offhand in there for the pass breakup.
Now 2nd down and 15. Parson, 6 of 11. End around Garnett. Pick up about 5, and we'll get the ball back to the original line of scrimmage at the 15. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 10. The Govs need to get to the 5 to get a new set of downs. And what a drive this
And we
has been
talk
so
about
far.
playing a clean game. Both teams, prior to that penalty, have played a penalty-free game. And so you see what penalties can do to a drive. Now putting them in a 3rd down and 11. Very predictable. They have to throw the ball.
16th play of the drive, and it has taken the entirety of this 2nd quarter. Third down and 10. Parson looking, has a man caught at the 5, going backwards, but now picking up the 1st down. Shamar Kirk, and Kirk, the transfer from Miami, the Crip, quickly becoming one of the favorite targets of Chris Parson.
Now, right there, great strong throw right there. A deep out by Parsons, showing his athletic talent right there with his arm. Strong arm, deep out for a 3rd and 11 pickup right there. And I think that, man, just as a defense, you don't know to go man, you don't know to go zone. Right now, Parsons is dialing it up right now. He's in a groove.
17th play of the drive. It's taken 9 minutes. Parson, touchdown, wide open, Jackson Head. And Murfreesboro is stunned.
And the Govs are all on MTSU head right now. Dominating them in every facet, every phase, every element of the game. The Govs are in control.
Kick is up and good from Carson Smith. And Floyd Stadium awfully quiet for a Saturday night. Their hometown Blue Raiders down 21-0 against Austin Peay.
There's a line that links us all. Most of the time, we don't even think about it. But it's everywhere. Illuminating our neighborhoods, empowering our businesses, and helping us to recharge. Whether it comes from our grids, the sun, or a kind heart, we believe in the power of good energy. And as your family and region continue to grow, you can trust that we'll always be there for you. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
I help people.
I create music.
I shape the future.
I am an entrepreneur.
I inspire people with more than words.
I ride forward. The sky is not my limit.
Find your blue at MTSU.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling cause you know that you're in luck. When you're fixed up and you know it, Hiller solved it like you hoped it. If you're happy and you know it, shout it out. Hiller!
It's the summer sales event with the Ford crew.
It's summer event time, Sam. Great time to buy.
A Ford F-Series truck.
Take your pick. Gas, all-electric, hybrid, and diesel. With impressive towing capability for any size to-do list. Like building a house.
A 2-story brick colonial.
Or hauling that boat to the lake.
What?
That's actually on my to-do list.
Oh.
Get 0% limited term APR financing plus 0 down payments plus 0 payments for 90 days plus a complimentary maintenance plan for F-150. Only at your local Ford dealer.
21-0 Austin Peay on top of Middle Tennessee. No, I didn't stutter. That's 21-0. Austin Peay on top of Middle Tennessee at home. And the Govs, 17 plays, 89 yards, 9.5 minutes. They got the ball to start the second quarter. And inch by inch, just sucked the life out of that Middle Tennessee defense on that last drive. And Middle Tennessee will start on their own 25 on the other side of the break. But here in the first half, it is all Austin Peay. On top by 21 on the road. Welcome back to Murfreesboro. 6:03 to go before halftime. Middle Tennessee down 21-0. There's a look at their upcoming schedule. And Jeremy, I think coming into this game, there was a lot of optimism for Middle Tennessee. You could tell by the crowd tonight, a great crowd here for the whiteout. But there was some optimism when you look at that schedule for Middle Tennessee. A lot of winnable games for Middle Tennessee. But coming out like this, down 3 scores on your own home turf. Middle's just trying to survive the night as Jaquel Middlebrook loses his footing at the line of scrimmage.
Yes, you normally your first game, you schedule an FCS opponent, and you never take any game for granted. But this is a game where you're expecting, if you're an MTSU fan, you're expecting to win this game, and they still can win this game. But to have a showing thus far like this, knowing that you play Wisconsin next week,
yeah,
it just gives you a little bit concern as a fan.
Read play. Middlebrook finds some green in front of him, takes a big hit right at the line of scrimmage, and they'll move the chains. And that is just Middle Tennessee's 3rd first down here in the first half.
And on a play like this, you're able to see what Coach Mason was talking about with Jaquel Middlebrook being the best player on the field. He thinks anytime he steps on the field, being able to make something out of nothing and picking up a first down right there.
Walker in motion, and Middle Tennessee offense not in sync.
Is under further review for potential targeting.
Yeah, it certainly looked like there could have been targeting on that previous play as Middlebrook took a nasty hit as he was falling to the ground. So we will take a look at it with the replay booth. And it's one of those plays that just happens so quickly. that you almost miss it in real time as we get another look at it on the board here. Middlebrook, ooh, tough hit from Ellis Jr. And if that is on Ellis, he's the best defensive player that the Govs have, hands down, especially coming in from last year. So if he is ejected, that is a huge loss for the Govs, and there might be a case.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they rule there. And a lot of times the plays are so bang, bang. And you looked at Ellis.
The rule on the field of no targeting is upheld. Second down.
So the officials will uphold the call of nothing. And that's some of the new verbiage this year that college football is using. No longer will they say the play stands, or after further review, it's always the play is either upheld or it's not. So even though there was no call, that is upheld. So nothing is upheld.
Nothing is upheld.
First down and 10 for Vadiato and the Blue Raiders. Dropping back, running out of time, and Vadiato sacked. A couple of Govs got there quickly.
And right there, you see Greg Jones dialing up the blitz. They really haven't blitzed so much in this game, but right there, sensing that MTSU maybe was trying to get a little bit momentum, picking up a couple first downs, Greg Jones said, let me stop that right now. Had a little twist, a little stun in the front. Getting home right there with a big sack.
Katre Dickens II. They call him K2. As big as a mountain. Now it's second and long. Vadiato airing it out. Deep shot. And was looking for Gamarion Carter, but great defense by Ellis Jr. They call him 2 times.
2 times. Ellis, so nice they had to name him twice. In great coverage right there. And talking to wide receiver coach, Coach Shug, they said, man, what makes him great is his attention to details, great film study. And he's such a competitor, competes in every way possible. And that was just great coverage on that play right there.
And you could tell he played both sides of the ball in high school. Looked like a wide receiver on that one. And now it's third down and infinity for the Blue Raiders. Middlebrook out of the backfield. Vadiato over the middle, off the fingertips of Najee Cox. And that was a dangerous play from Middle Tennessee. But now it's 4th down and 17. And the Govs have the chance to go up 4 scores with less than 4 minutes to go before the half.
It almost just like seems like the moment right now is a little too big for MTSU and just really the receivers right now not really making great effort going to try to catch the ball. It's not a good sign right now for the Blue Raiders.
4th punt of the half for Ashton Logan. Bond fields it on the bounce. Slips through a couple of tackles, picks up about 5. And so Chris Parson and the Govs offense have 3 minutes, 46 seconds to put up some points.
Well, yeah, I'll be right there.
It takes all of us to power a community, both in plain sight and behind the scenes. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
As student athletes, we push ourselves to be our best.
On and off the field.
When the game is on the line, mental health matters.
It's okay not to be okay.
Of the 500,000 student athletes in the NCAA,
nearly 20% say that they are suffering from depression or anxiety.
it's time to break the stigma.
Strong minds lead to strong performances.
Let's support each other and talk about mental health.
Together, there are no limits on us.
Window World is a local family business that proudly supports our community. We're your neighbors living in the towns you call home.
We attend the same schools, local restaurants, and grocery stores.
We proudly support our military, first responders, and St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
We're local professionals and craftsmen dedicated to creating curb appeal and energy savings one local home at a time.
We are Window World, supporting your community because it's our community.
Here's a twist on your typical banking options. What if instead of choosing between a big bank or a small bank, you had one bank that's the best of both? That's First Horizon. Big bank muscle with small bank hustle. Big bank convenience and small bank connection. When the best of big meets the best of small, you get it all. To help you on the road to your horizon. First Horizon Bank.
3 minutes and 46 seconds for Chris Parson and this Govs offense that so far tonight has been absolutely unstoppable. For them to go 70 yards to tack on some more points before the half in what has been a very, very one-sided affair. Middle Tennessee's offense can't get anything going. Just 53 yards of total offense for Middle as Parson keeps it on the end-around. Flag is down in the backfield as Parson somersaults on that far sideline. A couple of flags down back at the line of scrimmage at the 30.
Hold. Offense. Number 74. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's Seydou Ba, the starting right tackle, transfer from Tennessee State. From Memphis, started his career at Arkansas State, and this offensive line has been completely revamped for the Governors, and so far they have been excellent tonight.
They have been excellent, and right now the only thing that can really stop the Govs has been themselves. Back-to-back drives, they start out with a penalty, put them behind sticks. So we'll see if they're able to convert.
Parson, quick throw, diving catch on the far side is Jade Nealand, sophomore from Bartlett, Tennessee, with his first catch tonight. There's only one returning starter on this offensive line for the Govs, and that's Chandler Curtin, who is the longest tenured Governor player, has started the last 35 games. This is his 36th straight start in a Govs uniform, and he is the hands-down leader of this squad, one of the captains. Parson running out of time in middle, finally able to bring him down behind the line of scrimmage. DeMonte Smith with a sack.
And I've been bragging on this D-line from the Blue Raiders all night. And you see DeMonte Smith gets home to Parsons with a great job. Nice bull rush, extends the arm, gets the O-lineman off of him, and converts on the sack right there.
Timeout, Middle Tennessee State. Their first of the half.
So Middle Tennessee trying to play the clock game with 2:35 to go, trying to get a stop here on 3rd down and 21. And this is a time where earlier in this half, this is where we would see Chris Parson making a play, using his legs to extend the play a little bit and finding somebody open downfield. So what's Middle got to do defensively here if you're Brian Stewart?
Well, if I'm D coordinator store right here, I'm definitely going zone. We got them backed up. The Govs probably are going to play it safe right now. Having the 21-0 lead, probably want to take it to halftime. So I probably go a zone, maybe go a little zone pressure, fire zone, send some pressure, play zone behind it, and see if we could get Parsons off the spot while still keeping him contained with our DNs.
And this is one of those situations where if you're a defensive back, Jeremy, nobody gets behind you, right?
Yeah, we say be deeper than the deepest.
Be deeper than the deepest. So Austin Peay needs 21 yards to pick up the first down. Draw play up the middle. It's Bond. He's going to pick up more than a handful. It's going to be a 10-yard run for Bond, and it's going to force Middle Tennessee to at least burn another timeout with 2:27 left. Bond playing both sides of the ball, returning kicks and punts tonight for the Govs. And we talked about him being a two-way player, and we talked about Travis Hunter last year. Obviously, the Heisman Trophy winner for Colorado. But you got to go back to Deion Sanders. You remember what number he wore at Florida State, right? Number 2. Number 2.
No, for sure, man. And I think that a lot of times, because you think about Dion, you think about Charles Woodson, but really, Champ Bailey a little bit, but really other than that, you can't really think of like two-way players. You think about great athletes, but nobody like Travis Hunter, who dominated all conference at receiver, all conference, as a DB. But I think, like I said, seeing Travis Hunter have success, seeing Coach Prime allow his great athletes to play both sides, I feel like now we're going to see other coaches around the country allow their great athletes to do the same.
So Gavin Myers from Tallahassee in to punt for the second time this evening for the Govs. Middle not bringing any pressure. Short punt fielded at the 35. And Middlebrook made one guy miss, but ended up losing a yard or 2. And so Middle has 2:19 and 1 timeout remaining to try to find a way to put up some points. And Jeremy, it can't be a field goal. It's got to be a touchdown.
Yeah, it can't be a field goal. And this is where Coach Mason talks about the middle 8. Winning the middle 8, the last 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 minutes of the second half. And you got to score a touchdown here. You have to if you're the Blue Raiders, just to try to get a little bit momentum on your side.
So Vadiato 3 wide in a single back situation. Middle desperately needing a score, and they run the ball on 1st and 10. And Jeremy, I'm a little baffled by the call with 1 timeout remaining.
I think right now also they're kind of like trying to hedge their bets a little bit. If you don't convert for a first down, you don't want to leave too much time left for Austin Peay.
And so now we're at the 2-minute timeout. And so we will step aside. Middle Tennessee down by 21 at home. 2-minute timeout.
In Conference USA,
left, second down and 8 for Nick Vadiato and the Blue Raiders. Ball on their own 35. They have 1 timeout remaining as we're coming off the 2-minute timeout. Middle trailing by 21 here at the season opener against FCS Austin Peay. Vadiato to throw on second down. Far side, dangerous throw, but a great catch by Najee Cox, one of those new faces in the wide receiver room, the transfer from Fresno City College. And that's just the second completion tonight for Nick Vadiato. 2 of 12 after the completion for 11 yards to Cox. Middle's got to work quickly. Vadiato stepping up, gonna tuck it across midfield, and falling forward after a pickup of 9. And now Middle Tennessee in that 2-minute offense, clock ticking, 1:30 to go. But a nice heads-up play by Vadiato. Vadiato throwing, second and short, first down. Back-to-back completions for the first time tonight for Vadiato. This time it's Miles Butler, Coach Butler. And now Jeff Ferris is going to have to burn his first time out as the Govs, for the first time tonight, on their heels a little bit defensively.
Yes, right now, because you're playing against the clock and you're trying to say, hey, we would give you yards in front of us, but we're just not going to give up a touchdown. And so right now, the Blue Raiders, Coach Reeder, are really taking advantage of that. They're throwing the ball. You see you got the quarterback keeper as well with Nick Vadiato using his legs. So right now, Coach Ferris really wanted to give his defense a break, let him get a rest, but then come up with a game plan, because now as the field begins to shrink, now you can go back to some of your normal and regular defensive calls, because, hey, the field is getting smaller, so now you don't have to cover as much field. But great job, though. Great execution by the Blue Raiders right now in this 2-minute offense.
Pickup of 8 on the last completion to Miles Butler. So first down and 10 for Middle on the Govs 37. Middle needs a touchdown before the half. Still have one timeout. Vadiato checking down. Middlebrook out of the backfield. He's got the first down and brought down at the 25. And now Middle Tennessee's offense starting to find some success with tempo.
And the thing about the hurry-up offense, it doesn't allow the Govs to be able to substitute.
Govs go offside. Free play for Vadiato, staying on his feet, being chased from behind and brought down. But I would call it a win for the Govs. Clock ticked off that play.
Yes, you would like to see Nick Vadiato just chuck it downfield, knowing that you got a free play. But it's easier said than done.
Defense, number 35. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
It's TJ Cox Jr. I might not call it a win, maybe a draw. So 1st and 5. Second penalty against the Govs here tonight. 4 wide for Vadiato. Here comes the blitz from the Govs. Picked up. Vadiato to the end zone. And Ellis in on the coverage. But here come a whole host of flags as Ellis one-on-one with Najee Cox. 1 versus 1.
And I think Ellis might want to unbuckle that seatbelt. It wasn't a little lockdown right there. He got a little overzealous right there. He was in great coverage, running side by side by Najee Cox, but
pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
But for my DBs at home, you want to ride the receiver out of bounds, not push him out of bounds. And he continues to do the seatbelt, but I'm telling you that seatbelt didn't work that time. It is a loose seatbelt, unbuckle, flag on the play, automatic first down.
So Middle Tennessee in the red zone for the first time this evening. First and goal from the 5. Middlebrook in the backfield with Vadiato. 48 seconds to go in the half. Here comes the blitz. Vadiato, quick trigger to Cox. Touchdown. And Ellis is saying that Cox bobbled it. And there is a flag down in the end zone. We'll have to check with the officials.
Play. Touchdown.
So Najee Cox has his first touchdown catch as a Blue Raider. And Middle Tennessee finally giving this whiteout crowd something to cheer for.
And what a great job by Nick Vadiato and the Blue Raider offense executing a nice, key, smooth 2-minute drive right there.
6 plays, 67 yards, a minute 34, and hands down the best drive for Middle Tennessee here tonight as the extra point is up and good from Jacob Hathaway, the transfer from West Virginia Tech. And Middle Tennessee, signs of life before the half.
And that's what you need. Coach Mason talked about it all last year, the middle 8. And right now they're winning the middle 8. The last 4 minutes of the first half, going into the first 4 minutes of the second half, you could not afford to go down 21-0 into half. And so being able to go into halftime right now, 21-7, gives you a little bit momentum.
Middle Tennessee down a couple of scores here against Austin Peay. Again, this is the first time that these two teams have played in 15 years. They played each other annually for 34 straight years when they were both part of the OVC. And a win here tonight for Austin Peay would be the first win in the series in 39 years. Last win for Austin Peay came October 6, 1986, in a 7-0 win. Austin Peay's Mike Lewis scored on a 25-yard touchdown run in the fourth quarter for the game's only score. And you know what the #1 song was? October, that first week of October, 1986?
Nah, let me hear it.
Well, I'm not going to sing it. But
okay. Michael Jackson?
No. I was a little surprised, too. It's actually Huey Lewis in the News, Stuck With You.
Okay, all right.
I didn't know it off the top of my head.
Did you Google, you YouTube it? Nah, okay.
Return team, number 35. 15-yard penalty. Correction. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
So another penalty against Austin Peay will move them back. And you got to think that the Govs will just take a knee and run out the clock here with 45 seconds to go before the half.
I truly believe that if the Blue Raiders are able to make a comeback tonight, the story of the game will be Austin Peay's penalties. Because it wasn't until they started collecting the penalties that we started to see them not move the ball down the field and now give up a touchdown.
Handoff on first down and finding a little bit of room.
They give us the number 11.
Is Cortland Simmons. And yeah, Austin Peay, 5 penalties, 35 yards. Middle Tennessee, no penalties here tonight, and they were one of the most penalized teams in the conference a season ago. Actually, they were the most penalized team in Conference USA a season ago, averaging 7.5 penalties per contest, and that was a focus this offseason with this coaching staff, was not just to clean it up, but to find the maturity to know better. And that'll do it for the first half. So Middle finally gets on the board in the 2-minute drill. However, the Govs, looking for their first win in 39 years against Middle Tennessee, sitting pretty as we head to the half, on top by 14, 21-7, as we are waiting for Justin Beasley to catch up with head coach Jeff Veras. And Coach Ferris is with JB. JB.
Coach, a lot of smiles on this sideline. You dominate both sides of the ball in the first half. What did you love most specifically on both sides?
Yeah, I love how hard our guys are playing. We're playing for one another. We're trying to blend the 3 phases, but we got a whole bunch of football left. I want to see Austin Peay's best football in the second half. That's all I care about.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Jake, back to you.
He's a ball coach's ball coach, Jeff Ferris. Looking forward to the second half, expecting more from his team, but they're on top by 14 here at the break. Halftime coming up next from Murfreesboro. All right, I'm going to go find Chris Massaro. It is halftime here at Floyd Stadium, and Austin Peay leads Middle Tennessee 21-7 here at the break. A surprising score here tonight, and happy to be joined now by the Director of Athletics for Middle Tennessee, Chris Massaro. Chris, maybe not the best half of Middle Tennessee football in week one, but a great crowd here tonight.
Yeah.
A lot of energy in the building.
We've certainly seen better halves than that, and give Austin Peay some credit, but that was a rough half, and maybe getting that touchdown right at the end of the half, maybe that'll spark us a little bit and play much better in the second half. But yeah, great crowd, proud of the students for coming out, proud of our marketing staff for really getting the word out. The whiteout was a success, so now all we need to do is play a good second half and make it a really nice night.
And that's been something that this Middle Tennessee football program in particular has really stressed this offseason, was getting out in the community and getting involved and letting Murfreesboro see the faces of these football players. I know the offensive linemen are at the farmers market every weekend. They've got their own peanut butter and things like that. So how important is it for the community to be invested in Middle Tennessee athletics?
Well, a community connection works both ways.
Yeah.
So we've stressed to our players and staff that, to get out in the community and be a part of it. And our players have really adopted that. And so really proud of them for that. And I think we saw some results with the crowd tonight. So, we play Marshall here in 3 weeks, September 20th for homecoming, and that should be another big crowd. So really proud of the efforts that we've made to try to forge those kind of connections.
And another thing you've got to be proud of is, as we see here on the screen, the brand new Stephen and Denise Smith Student Athletic Performance Center that just opened a month ago today, actually. 85,000 square feet, $66 million, and it is top of the line.
It really is, and really, I think it's one of the best football buildings and athletic performance buildings I've been in, and I've visited a lot of them. And there was a lot of thoughtful planning that went in, from our architect teams to the previous coaching staff and Coach Stock to the present coaching staff with Derek Mason, just on how the whole, how it all operates and the floors all work together and those kind of things. We spent a lot of time talking about our graphics package too, to really trick it out at the end. And to me, it was sort of like that old analogy, if you buy a new suit and you have old shoes, it sort of diminishes the suit. And so we spent a lot of time with graphics and getting our message in that building, and we want our fans to know that we're serious about football, and we want to be the best in the group of five.
Well, it is a great crowd tonight. Floyd Stadium looks excellent. We've got the new turf here as well. That is Athletic Director for Middle Tennessee Athletics, Chris Massaro. Chris, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Jake. Appreciate it. Appreciate what you guys do for us as well.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Maybe we'll have a great second half here. Let's go. Let's get it done.
Fingers crossed. Austin Peay on top by 14. More from halftime coming up next. I'll work. Welcome back to halftime. Halfway through halftime, Austin Peay on top of Middle Tennessee, 21-7. Austin Peay looking for their first win in this series in 39 years and their first win in Murfreesboro in 41. It would be just the second win against an FBS squad in 33 tries for the Govs. But Jeremy, looking at the numbers, pretty lopsided in favor of the Govs. Middle Tennessee just 100 yards of total offense and 67 coming within the last minute and a half on that final touchdown drive for Big Blue.
What I see is total domination by the Govs right here in every phase and facet of the game. They're dominating time of possession, and when you really look at it, it was a great job, though, by the Blue Raiders to be able to finish the first half and being able to score to cut the lead to 14. But just overall, just domination. But one thing I believe the Govs have to do, they have to limit their penalties, because that has stopped them on their last 2 or 3 drives, and then they picked up a penalty on defense, which extended a drive by the MTSU offense. So it's just, they have to play better. Both sides, both teams have to play better, but just pure domination. And we talk about Chris Parson, the eraser. He's erasing bad mistakes. He makes up for the errors that the Govs may have because of his athletic ability. He's been pinpoint in the passing game, 2 passing touchdowns. So he's been amazing in his first start today.
Nick Vattiato just 5 of 15 throwing the football. And as he goes, Middle Tennessee's offense goes. And right now, looking for a little help. Down 14 here at the break in the season opener against their in-state rival, Austin Peay. More from halftime coming up next on the other side of the break. First half stats and highlights brought to you by Murfreesboro Medical Clinic. Play hard, stay healthy with Murfreesboro Medical Clinic, the official medical group of MTSU Athletics. And Jeremy, keys to the second half.
Yes, MTSU, they have to pick up their hurry-up offense. You've seen them have success at the end of the first half, and they need more explosive plays. They don't have the ability right now to meticulously drive down the field, so they need explosive plays, 20-yard gains, 25-yard gains to be able to shorten the field. And when you look at the Govs, the keys for them is to stay relaxed. Yes, the game has gotten tighter, but stay relaxed, and they must limit penalties because the penalties have been the only thing that has given the Blue Raiders life and then has been the only thing to stop the Govs on offense. So limit the penalties, and I think the Govs probably come out victorious.
Second half action coming up next from Murfreesboro. Govs on top, 21-7. Start of the second half underway. Middle Tennessee is kicking off to Austin Peay, who will take over at the 25-yard line. Austin Peay leads 21-7. And Jeremy, I look at the time of possession. The Govs, 20 minutes with the football. Middle Tennessee, half that with 9:39. And half of that time of possession battle came on one drive in the second quarter to start the second quarter for the Govs, which led to a touchdown. Is that going to be one of those moments in the box score that we're going to circle when this game's over?
I believe so, especially if they can come out this drive and be able to do the same thing. When you look at Parsons and just the Govs offense in totality, they're relaxed. The Blue Raiders are not speeding up their clock. They're doing whatever they want.
And that play is blown up in the backfield, read perfectly. Brendan Harris, the 8th-year senior, making the stop
And I guess the Blue Raiders defense right there heard me. Harris coming from his safety position, coming up with a great tackle for loss. And this is what the Blue Raiders need. Put Parsons and the Govs offense behind the sticks. Put them in a predictable passing down.
5-yard loss. Here comes the blitz from middle. Low throw, and diving to the turf to try to make the catch is Jaden Robinson, as we will check in with Justin Beasley.
Hey guys, nothing special from after halftime. Talking with head coach Derek Mason, basically just said they want to make this a one-score game, especially trying to get a stop on defense as they come out in the second half, as they have this third down right here, but very calm, cool, and collected for a coach down 21-7. Back to you guys.
Thanks, JB. And a big third down coming up right here, 3rd and 15. Middle bringing pressure again. Parsons stepped up. He's going to tuck, chased by Parker Hughes. And that's going to be a big third down stop for Middle Tennessee. As Parson struggling to get out of the Blue Raiders sideline. Having some teammates helping escort him to the opposite sideline. But that's exactly the tone that Middle Tennessee needed to set on the defensive end.
You're right about that. Coming up big, and like we said, we are playing at quarterback, mobile quarterback that can run the ball. Even when you have everybody guarded downfield, he has the ability to get out of the pocket. But great job by Parker Hughes being the spy on that play and having the athletic ability to track down Parsons and drag him out of bounds.
Derek Mason says that he is our Ray Lewis, meaning he is our emotional leader on defense in that middle linebacker spot, as now there is a flag down on the Middle Tennessee sideline.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 92, a late hit out of bounds. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Oh, wow.
And I actually thought it was a little late, but I thought they had received some grace on that play.
Yeah.
It wasn't Parker Hughes.
No, that's DeMonte Smith, who already has 1 sack tonight, and it was as Chris Parson was stepping out of bounds, but the fact that the flag came so late, just absolutely backbreaking for this Middle Tennessee defense.
And I believe that might be the first penalty of the game.
First penalty of the game for Middle Tennessee in its entirety. Quick throw near side, and that's going to be good enough for 9 yards to Nate Garnett.
And see, that's what happens right there. You have the DBs playing 7-8 yards off the ball. They're just running straight hitches, but they're able to do that now in the second half because of the success that the receivers had going downfield, beating the one-on-one matchups against the Blue Raiders defensive backs.
Second down, short. Parson with time, taking a deep shot downfield, overshoots his receiver, but flags are down, coming from multiple referees. Jawan Gaston was in on the coverage. As was Trayvon Farrell.
Defense, number 24. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Just crushing penalties from this Middle Tennessee defense on this drive, just gifting the Govs 30 yards.
And you play the whole first half with no penalties, and then on the first drive of the second half, still in the middle 8, what Coach Mason talks about. Now you have 2 15-yard penalties, and you're shooting yourself in the foot.
That's one of the things that Derek Mason tried to address, not just with the returning players, but in the portal maturity. Bond around the end, far side, has room, has the first down, scampers out of bounds. And Javius Bond, you can see why they want him playing on both sides of the ball. He is the fastest guy on this turf. Now things starting to get a little chippy between these two teams.
And
as we've got a Blue Raider down on the far sideline by the sticks. And that's number 24, Trayvon Farrell. Middle Tennessee already without one of their cornerbacks, Kevin KJ Minifield, who went down in the first quarter with an arm injury. Farrell being tended to on that far sideline by the Middle Tennessee training staff. And let's check in with JB. And we'll get back with Justin in a moment as the training staff and Derek Mason are helping up Trayvon Farrell, who's walking off under his own power. Good sight. So a couple of penalties. 2 penalties, 30 yards have kept the drive alive for Middle Tennessee, or excuse me, for the Govs. And again, the Govs knocking on the door, have the ball on the 22-yard line of Middle Tennessee with a 14-point advantage on the road. And they're already 2 for 2 in the red zone. So here we go, first down and 10 from the 22. Chris Parson, 10 of 16 in this game, 134 yards. Couple of touchdowns, has run the ball 9 times for 29 yards. Handoff. And running out of room really quickly is Javius Bond. And again, coming up from that safety spot, Brendan Harris. Old man Harris making the lick.
Brendan Harris being able to show his experience. It's just a great job right there. Running down the play from the backside, even as a defender, when they're running away from you, sometimes you go unblocked as the backside defender. But if you have the athleticism, if you have the speed, you can run it down just like that.
Great replay from our crew there, too. You saw Parker Hughes just eyeing the running back. Parson slips out of a couple would-be tacklers, dives forward, gets close to the original line of scrimmage. And, Jeremy, you're just shaking your head. Some quick feet right there.
Man, quick feet, gold feet, global certified. But you see, like I said, he's an eraser. He erases the sack right here. This is a sack, but he turns it into a good pickup for them, even though it's still 3rd and 11, but it could have been a 3rd and 20 right now. It keeps them in field goal position right now.
And for as quick as those feet are moving, he's still patient. He's setting up his blockers. He's setting up the defenders. He's never letting his feet get too far in front of his body. Very, very impressive night so far from Chris Parson. 3rd down and 11. Parson with room, stepping up off the hands of the receiver, Nate Garnett. And Middle Tennessee able to force another 4th down, and that'll bring out the field goal unit for the first time tonight for either team. And it's the senior transfer, Carson Smith.
On the kick, number 22, Carson Smith.
Sometimes when you have a mobile quarterback, you always want their eyes to be down the field and think pass first. But when they go back and watch film and he steps up in that pocket, they're probably going to say, hey, next time, Parsons, just go ahead and run for that 1st down.
40-yard attempt for Smith. Put his foot into it and got it.
The kick is good. New score 24-7.
24-7. The Govs on top on the road. And there is a flag down at the 30-yard line.
Defense. That penalty is declined. Field goal is successful. Media timeout.
So on 4th and long, that would have been just a 5-yard penalty. The Govs will take the points, and we will head to the break. Govs on top by 3 scores on the road. 11:08 to go here in the 3rd.
In Conference USA, unity, solidarity, and respect are more than just words. They are values to live by. When we embrace our differences, we become stronger, and lift each other up. Together, we can be unstoppable. Join us in championing diversity, equity, and inclusion in college athletics and beyond. Now is the time to make a difference. This is our chance to make a better tomorrow, because when we work together as one, we can achieve greatness. Together, there are no limits on us.
For 75 years, Murfreesboro Medical Clinic has been a cornerstone of health and compassion in our community. From our humble beginnings to the advanced, comprehensive care we offer today, our commitment to you has never wavered. With 8 locations across Murfreesboro and Middle Tennessee and over 100 physicians, we continue to provide the highest standard of care. Then, now, and always, your health is our mission.
You'll always win when you choose Murfreesboro Hyundai. Whether you're scoring a great deal on a new vehicle or bringing your current ride in for quality service, our team is committed to going above and beyond, so your experience is seamless and stress-free every time. That's better than a touchdown. From competitive pricing and flexible financing options to exceptional customer service and transparency in every interaction, we're cheering you on. You can trust us for all of your automotive needs.
Come see us at Murfreesboro Hyundai and discover the experience you deserve.
9 plays, 52 yards, 3:52 taken off the clock. A 40-yard field goal from Carson Smith gives the Govs a 24-7 lead, and Carson Smith extends his hot streak. Finished the season a year ago, making 5 straight field goals. Picking up where he left off the season ago, this time from 40 yards to give the Govs a 3-score lead with 11:04 to go here in the third quarter. And puts a boot into this one, and just like all the other kickoffs, Middle Tennessee will call for a fair catch and take over at the 25-yard line. Now let's check in with Justin Beasley on the sideline.
Thank you, Jake. A quick injury update. Obviously, Middle Tennessee stepping up that last series in the secondary. Down 2 guys. Number 24, Trayvon Farrell, that we just saw go down. I will get an injury update as soon as I can on that. And number 23, Kevin Minifield, that went down in the first quarter. I am told by the Middle Tennessee SID that he is out with an upper body injury for the rest of the game.
Thanks, JB. Vadiato to throw on first down. And a quick out route to Najee Cox. Pick up about 6 on first down. And Jeremy, you still surprised that even though down 24-7, that Middle is still throwing on 1st and 10?
A little surprised, but maybe I think about them going back to the first half where they found success, and that was with the hurry-up offense. So maybe that's what they're trying to do, just stay hurry up.
And Middlebrook has nowhere to go. And wearing number 0 is Kendall Ball, typically wearing number 50, but wearing number 0 tonight in honor of the late teammate Will Hardrick, who sadly passed away in May in an automobile accident. And every Monday, Coach Ferris will pick a Governor's player to wear Will's number 0 in honor of him. And everything that the Govs have in terms of team gear this year will have that number 0 to honor Will. Their team motto this year is "We Will." The whole season is dedicated to playing well and carrying on Will Hardrick's memory, as there's a good play there in the secondary from this Govs defense. And we certainly send our condolences to the Hardrick family. It's been really tough on this Govs program. I know there's a lot of new faces, but the way that this team has bonded so quickly, they've spent so much time this offseason. Coach Jeff Ferris says, hey, we lead the league in team bonding this year. Barbecues, go-karting, bowling, dinner at Coach's house. As this punt will be fair caught at the 25-yard line, and that's where the Govs will take over. The Govs actually spent an entire day with the 101st Airborne at Fort Campbell over the summer, did a little boot camp. Coach Ferris said he did the rappelling tower. He's like, I like to tell people it was about 300 feet. It was like 50. But this Govs team, very, very tight-knit. After the loss of Will Hardrick, and his family is still part of the Govs football family, even though he just transferred in from Miami of Ohio back in January. But as you see here tonight with this effort, this is a tight-knit ball club. Handoff on first down, nowhere to go for Caden Williams. And this is the first time tonight that we have seen Austin Smith, the quarterback for the Govs, as he actually subs out in favor of Chris Parson. But Smith was the starter for 11 games a season ago, took over in week 2 and did a really nice job for the Govs. 63% passing, 15 touchdowns. Rushed for a handful of touchdowns and was in open competition this training camp with Parson after Parson transferred from Mississippi State, as he connects on a pass here with Kamari Maxwell on 2nd and 11. But yeah, Coach Ferris told us, he said, hey, you're going to see both quarterbacks play here tonight, but that's the first time that we've seen Austin Smith. But of course, Chris Parson showing you why he needs to be the starter, at least so far here tonight.
Yes, and once again, a strong, nice throw right there on a deep out route. And they have ran the deep out multiple times. And so you think as a DB, when you see the receiver motion in to tighten the splits, he's just giving himself room to run the out route. And the DB from MTSU still has not recognized that route.
3rd and 4, fumble on the handoff. Parson picks it up, might have picked up a couple. But Bond ran right into the body of Chris Parson, and that's the 3rd fumble tonight that the Govs have been able to hop on.
Yes, the ball really has been bouncing in the Govs' favor. 3, like you say, 3 balls loose on the ground tonight, and none of them have went towards the Blue Raiders. So when you think about just receiving some favor, some grace, man, the Governors have received that tonight.
Yeah, week 1 on the road against an FBS opponent helps to get the ball to bounce your way every now and again. But really, the Govs haven't needed it. Gavin Myers out to punt for the 3rd time tonight. This is going to take a Middle Tennessee bounce. And Middle will have good starting field position with 7:33 to go. Here in the 3rd quarter, Middle Tennessee's offense needs to wake up. They trail 24-7 on their own home turf.
deserve.
There's the band of blue keeping people on their feet tonight here at Floyd Stadium, and more than a smattering of red tonight amongst the whiteout here in Murfreesboro. Again, just 72 miles from Clarksville to Murfreesboro, just straight up and down I-24. About the same distance between the two in Nashville. Vattiato on first down, handoff up the middle, and finding a little bit of room on that first down run. Ricky Hunt Jr., one of a handful of running backs fighting for playing time in this offense this year. But again, Middle Tennessee just 56 yards on the ground. This Austin Peay defense has been stout all night, as there's a flag. And it'll blow this play dead, and this is going to be the first offensive penalty tonight against Middle.
Offense, number 55. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Mateo Guevara, one of the returning starters from last year.
And plays like that makes you think that this is last year's team. They just had a nice pickup on first down, and then all of a sudden they have a false start penalty. Now you're back behind the sticks. You cannot do that, especially trailing 24-7.
4 wide for Vattiato, just 6 of 17 tonight for 48 yards. Pass behind the line of scrimmage. Ricky Hunt Jr. might have picked up a couple. But again, more than one red hat chasing those silver helmets on defense.
No, they're playing collective and they're running to the ball. Any sign of a good defense is when you have everybody pursuing to the ball. It's kind of a pursuit drill. You normally start defensive practices with a pursuit drill. Everybody running to the ball. Good things happen when all 11 hats get to the ball.
Vattiato in the gun on 3rd and 11. Here comes the blitz. Vattiato looking downfield and overshoots Miles Butler, and that'll do it. Another 3 and out for Middle Tennessee. And again, a great defensive stand by this Govs defense and defensive coordinator Greg Jones.
And the thing is that, you know, as an offense, you're not going to score every single time. The goal is to score every time you touch the ball, but you at least want to give your defense a break, because as a defensive player, you start getting frustrated. You're like, hey, man, we're getting a stop, but what's going on? Offense, like, we need you to at least give us some time to get a break, to get some rest, but now defense right back on the field.
High spiraling punt will send Bond back to the 11, and he will call for a fair catch. Middle Tennessee special teams not giving Bond any opportunities to make any big plays in the return game tonight. And I'd say, based on what we've seen so far tonight, that's probably a good idea.
Yes, right now the Blue Raiders are struggling playing complementary football. The defense is coming up with some key stops, good stops, especially the D-line is playing awesome. But they need much more help from their offense.
Mentioned defensive coordinator Greg Jones for Austin Peay. He's familiar with this Middle Tennessee squad. In fact, he was in this building exactly a year ago as the defensive coordinator for Tennessee Tech that gave Middle Tennessee all sorts of fits in the season opener a year ago, a game that came down to the final seconds that took some heroics from Frank Peay to score a touchdown in the final seconds for Middle Tennessee to have a comeback win in their home opener against Tennessee Tech. And it's looking like Middle Tennessee is going to have to find another superhero somewhere tonight on the offensive end, as the defense has started to pick up a little bit for Middle Tennessee. Another stop behind the line on first down.
And like I said, this defensive line, DeMonte Smith right there, is coming up big. They are the bright spot of the entire Blue Raider defense in this first game, playing very physical at the point of attack.
Here comes the blitz. Running out of time and throwing it in the end zone is Parson. He did not get it back to the line of scrimmage, but he did have a receiver, Kamari Maxwell, in the area. Great pressure up front.
And once again, the eraser. Parsons erases the safety, the second safety, potential safety of the game, but his athletic ability and arm strength to have his lower body wrapped up by an MTSU defender and still get the ball out it's just a great effort.
Juwan Gaston coming on the safety blitz, putting pressure on Parson. Now it's 3rd and 11. Another blitz. And overshoots, and that's lucky that that wasn't intercepted for a touchdown, as the only person in the area was Corey Smith for Middle Tennessee, as Parson has to peel himself off the Middle Tennessee end zone. And I just don't think Corey Smith saw that football, because if he would have just turned his eyes just a little bit, that's a touchdown.
Yeah, that's a pick 6, man. To the crib, but great job by Parker Hughes. Coach Stewart, DC, for the Blue Raiders, dialing up a couple blitzes right there, being able to get some hits on Parsons. Maybe you don't get the sack, but maybe those hits start to take a toll as you get late into this 3rd quarter, early into the 4th quarter.
Myers out to punt again here in the 3rd quarter. Middle backs off. Line drive punt, fielded at midfield. Middlebrook found a little room into Gov territory. And he stopped at the 45, so Middle Tennessee, great field position yet again. And they will try to put some points on the board with 5:02 to go here in the 3rd.
Okay, Lightning, it's your turn. Come on back.
How's it going, man? I'm Dr. Hensley. Nice to meet you. Just gonna take a look at your teeth, okay? Oh, very nice. Wow, look at those teeth. Those look great, Lightning. I don't see any cavities in there.
All right, Lightning, no cavities. You're good for today. Here's your bag.
Window World is a local family business that proudly supports our community. We're your neighbors living in the towns you call home.
We attend the same schools, local restaurants, and grocery stores.
We proudly support our military, first responders, and St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
We're local professionals and craftsmen dedicated to creating curb appeal and energy savings, one local home at a time.
We are Window World, supporting your community because it's our community.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling cause you know that you're in luck. When you're fixed up and you know it, Hiller solved it like you hoped it. If you're happy and you know it, shout it out. Hiller!
You'll always win when you choose Murfreesboro Hyundai. Whether you're scoring a great deal on a new vehicle or bringing your current ride in for quality service, our team is committed to going above and beyond, so your experience is seamless and stress-free every time. That's better than a touchdown. From competitive pricing and flexible financing options to exceptional customer service and transparency in every interaction, we're cheering you on. You can trust us for all of your automotive needs.
Come see us at Murfreesboro Hyundai and discover the experience you deserve.
Middle trailing by 3 scores, 24-7, 5:02 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Only points coming on a 40-yard field goal from Carson Smith on the opening drive for the Govs. And now Middle Tennessee is going to try to put up another crooked number on the board, as this offense just 108 total yards through 2.5 quarters. Handoff, Middlebrook trying to break it to the outside, picks up a couple, and a nice stop on that outside. Ellis from the quarterback spot. And you gotta love it, a quarterback that's not afraid to get in there and make a tackle on a running back.
Yeah, and the way he's coming up and hitting him, and I had to just look down to see how big he is. And he's 6 foot, 191, but man, he's coming up there, laying the lumber out there from this cornerback position. You love to see the physicality on the outside.
A two-way stud at Hendersonville High School. 6A All-State his senior season. Play action. Here comes the blitz. Vadiato just got to get rid of it and chucks it towards the Austin Peay sideline, and now we're starting to see Greg Jones, the DC, really show some pressure.
Yeah, and we talked about him last year being the D coordinator at Tennessee Tech. They gave up 32 points. So as a competitor all summer long, especially when you go to Austin Peay this year and you know your first game is against MTSU, you're self-scouting yourself. What did you do good? What didn't you do well against this Blue Raider offense? And you see all of the corrections that he has made, and they're dominating right now.
Third down and 8. Middle 0 for 7 on third downs this evening. Vadiato throwing and overshoots Gamarion Carter. And Vadiato now just 7 of 21 throwing the ball, as there is a flag down at midfield as Vadiato limping a little bit.
The passer, defense, number 45. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
That's Al Sandifer, the transfer from Western Kentucky, giving life to this Middle Tennessee offense on what would have been another 3 and out.
And when we talk about grace, unearned favor right there, that's what MTSU just received. So we'll see if they're able to take advantage of it and be able to get the ball in pay dirt. Definitely a late hit.
So Middle Tennessee has life on the 27-yard line. Handoff, Middlebrook turning it upfield, has some room. That might have been the best run of the night for Jaquel Middlebrook, a pickup of about 10. Needed to get to the 22, and that's right where they spotted it, so they'll call it second down and short. Actually, they're going to go ahead and move the chains. Some confusion on that far sideline with the sticks. Now they finally get them set up properly. So first down and 10. They go right back to Middlebrook. Met at the line of scrimmage, falls forward for a couple. But again, really nice push up front by the Govs front 4.
And I like what the Blue Raiders are doing. Staying consistent with the run. It's working for you. And this is going to get those safeties and get those linebackers to creep up trying to stop the run. And now you can hit them with a play action pass over the top.
Sandifer got there first. Govs show pressure. They bring it. Vadiato throwing back shoulder to Carter. Waiting for the call. Touchdown. "14-yard hookup for Nick Vadiato and Gamarion Carter, his second career touchdown. This will certainly be reviewed as Middle Tennessee hustles the field goal team on the field, but the lights and the strobe show going on. And no.
And it might not come when you want it, but the touchdown call came right on time.
It's a touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
Yeah, there we go. I was curious to know when that announcement was going to come. It was a little delayed, but you could tell that Derek Mason was trying to get the field goal squad out on the field as soon as possible, but finally a connection in like a rhythm throw from Vadiato with the receiver, and man, that is tough.
Yes, I think his foot was on the pylon, but the pylon is considered the field. Ooh,
so
maybe
it's
that
where,
right foot.
yeah, and it's where the ball is as well. But as you said, where's the foot when he makes the catch? Where's the ball in the basket of his hands? When
he
the
never
foot is
touched the
there.
pylon.
Again, the call on the field is touchdown, and so the replay booth next to us is looking to see if there is any indisputable evidence to overturn this call. Ellis was right there
That right foot, maybe. It looks like it might be on the white.
And that's actually Najee Cox who made the catch.
If it stands, this would be a huge, huge touchdown for the Blue Raiders.
So Najee Cox looking for his second touchdown catch tonight. As the booth looking it over from, here's another angle. Ugh. I don't know if there's enough evidence to overturn it, but I also don't know if I see the ball actually cross the plane in real time, because it's actually Ellis's foot that knocks over the pylon.
Yeah, that's what I realized. And so if they don't have a better angle down the line to be able to see if there was a space between his right foot and the sideline, then I think you got to keep it.
Yeah, again, the call on the field is touchdown.
Because if it was the opposite way, if it was ruled an incomplete pass, then I don't know how you can overturn it.
That's why the original call on the field just matters so much. And see, I think that foot is actually on the white when he makes the catch.
Yeah, I agree.
So the ruling is upheld, and Middle might have caught a break, but either way, it is now the second touchdown catch tonight for Najee Cox and the second throw for Vadiato.
Yes, and I just think that, man, moving forward, the Blue Raiders, they have to, that's the formula. Run the ball. And then, as you've seen the maturity from Nick Vadiato. That wasn't a call pass. He checked at the line. You've seen this 2 hands, 2 fingers point down. That check to the fade route. So great job, him and Najee Cox being on the same page, being able to convert right there.
Hathaway, the Welshman, knocks through the point after attempt, and Middle Tennessee has their second score on the board. It is a 10-point ball game with 2:55 to go after the touchdown. Pass and catch from Vadiato to Najee Cox, one of the new receivers at Middle Tennessee. Touchdown catches of 5 yards and 14 yards tonight for Najee. Here's one more look at it. Again, the original call was a touchdown on the field. The review was upheld. And I don't know if you could have asked for better defense from Ellis on that play.
Yeah, you know, great offense beats great defense all the time. You see it in whatever sport. No matter how good a position you're in, the throw can really throw the receiver and get the receiver open like we've seen on the fade route.
And how about this lineup for Middle Tennessee? As now Balin Woodman, the freshman, will spread out the kicking team. Still a unique formation. And a whole lot of moving and shaking for a touchback. All right, so the Govs take over on their own 25, 2:56 to go. They've done a really nice job of moving the ball offensively here tonight. 4 yards of total offense. But, Jeremy, this Middle Tennessee defense bowed up a little bit here in the second half.
Yes, it starts with their defensive line play. They've been playing amazing, getting penetration, getting pressure on the quarterback, even taking them down on a sack or forcing errant throws. So, man, this D-line has been everything, and they need to be that and more on this drive to get another stop.
Austin Smith in the game to throw. And he picks up 9 on the completed pass to Jaden Robinson, who had that touchdown to open the game for the Govs. But how about that? Austin Smith coming in for just the second play tonight and slinging it.
And And once again, out route. But that time the DN in this 3-4 defense, you have to drop and get under the out route. And the DN didn't get there that time.
Second down, 1, handoff up the middle, going to be good enough for a first down for Cortland Simmons. Again, Austin Smith started 11 games a season ago, and you could really see him and the team last year for Austin Peay improve simultaneously. They started 0-3, had a really, really tough schedule last year at Louisville, number 10, Southern Illinois, and then at number 7, Central Arkansas. But then they won 4 of their next 6. And 3 of those games were actually on the road. And a big reason why was how well Austin Smith played under center for this Govs offense as he hands off on first down. Simmons picks up maybe 1. So I think a handful of people were a little surprised that not only were they looking for a quarterback in the portal, but they landed someone as accomplished or that was originally as highly recruited as Chris Parson, who was a 4-star coming out of Ravenwood High School.
And you can just see his talent, his arm strength, his versatility as a quarterback to be able to run and throw.
Smith to throw behind the receiver. And in on the coverage, Corey Smith, the linebacker from right here in Murfreesboro, product of Oakland High School, football powerhouse here in Rutherford County. And a big 3rd down and 9 coming up for this Blue Raider defense.
And that was a great job by Corey Smith in zone, playing with his eyes, being able to locate the crosser coming across the formation and being able to drive down and coming up with a nice pass breakup.
Trips to the near side for the Govs. Smith to throw. Stepping up. Stays on his feet. Lobs it down the sideline. And almost intercepted. But another stop for this Middle Tennessee defense on 3rd down.
And just like I said to start this drive, the D-line needed pressure, and that's what they did. Yes, the eraser, Parson himself, was able to avoid the sack, but the pressure, the relentless pressure, caused them to have to throw an errant throw out of bounds. And what a great job by D coordinator Brian Stewart and this entire Blue Raider defense on that drive.
Middlebrook back to return the punt, standing at his own 25. Gavin Myers in to punt yet again. Busy second half for Myers, and this is a line drive, awkward punt. Middlebrook picks it up on the run. Shoot, he might have picked up 10 yards just running up to catch that punt.
And you could just see the confidence oozing out of Middlebrook. A lot of returners would have let that ball drop, seeing that it was low and didn't have a lot of height. But he attacked it, caught it on the run, and was able to pick up at 10 yards, like you said, a first down on that return. And you can just see how electrifying he is. Anytime he touches the ball, the excitement on the crowd, you hear it coming, thinking that he's going to take it the distance.
1st and 10 for Vadiato, less than a minute to go here in the 3rd frame. His team trailing by 10. Quick screen pass, or an out route, was looking for Cox, and that ball instantly sent back by Ellis Ellis, who has been everywhere tonight for the Govs.
Mr. Two-time, they call him, man. Ellis is making plays in the run game, having great coverage, and then being able to blitz. And young defenders, if you don't make it to the quarterback, the play isn't over. Now you just jump and try to bat it down, and that's what Ellis did on that play.
Vadiato looking over the middle. And the safety, Trevor Hardy, read that play perfectly as Vadiato locked onto his receiver early. And he wasn't fooling the junior from Alabaster, Alabama.
And see, that's what happens when you don't have success on first down. You get into a 2nd and 10, and now the D coordinator, Greg Jones, calls a zone, and everybody's sitting with eyes on the quarterback. They're just driving downhill.
And now 3rd down and 10 for Middle. 0 for 7 on 3rd down. Vadiato over the middle, finds a receiver, going to be well short as he finds Hunter Tipton for his first catch tonight. And now it's 4th down and 5 at the 45, and now it looks like Middle Tennessee's offense is going to stay on the field. There's about a 2.5 second difference between the game and play clock, so we'll see if Middle, well, they're going to have to run a play. 4th and 4. They're going to run a play or burn a timeout. Or do you just take the penalty and move it back 5 yards for the punt?
That's the end of the third quarter.
Or the end of the third quarter. So 3 quarters down, and Austin Peay on top by 10. Fourth quarter coming up from Murfreesboro. Get all of ESPN college football all in one place with the all-new ESPN app. Unlock with the ESPN Unlimited plan or log in with your TV provider. 4th down and 4 for Middle Tennessee. Vadiato takes the snap. Getting pressured, has to chuck it towards the Austin Peay sideline, and what a stop by the Govs.
Vadiato's pass, incomplete pass, first down, Austin Peay.
So I think if you know that you're going to go for it on that drive, then you start out with a run. You don't start out with a quick, extended pass. That's an extended run. you start out with a traditional run. You've been having success all night running, well, not all night, but all this tab running the ball. Why not give it to Jaquel Middlebrook on first down?
And Greg Jones yet again calling for a blitz in a key situation as Austin Smith back out on the field. The backup quarterback was on the field for the last drive for the Govs. Did see that Chris Parson went back to the Govs locker room during the quarter break with the trainer, as now the Govs come out to a delay of game penalty. So that'll move them back 5 yards to start this drive. They still have great field position on the Middle Tennessee side of the 50. So the backup, Austin Smith, who started 11 games a season ago for the Govs, trying to bring home their first win against an FBS team in almost 40 years. And he takes a shot deep downfield and connects with Nate Garnett Jr.
And just because he is the backup quarterback doesn't mean he does not have talent. And you see the deep ball, great touch, one-on-one coverage. And Austin Peay has been winning the one-on-one battles all night outside.
It's a 41-yard hookup from Smith to Garnett. Read play, near side, stiff arm. Simmons falls after a few, and he stopped at the 5-yard line, and now it's 2nd and goal coming up for the Govs.
And that was a great open field tackle right there by Muaz Byard right there. No help. One-on-one tackle in open field to save a touchdown.
Smith on the keeper, touchdown! But a flag is down.
Hold. Offense, number 79. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, 2nd down.
That's Nick Hilliard, the transfer from Princeton, that's going to move the Govs back. Oh, and that penalty hurts because Smith was untouched. As we take another look.
And it was a great play call. They pulled the backside tight end around to be the lead blocker for the quarterback. Just unfortunately for them, it was a holding call on the play.
So now 2nd down and goal from the 14. Smith to throw against the 4-man rush. Lobbing towards the end zone, looking for the tight end, Parker Hughes. Playing great face guarding defense against Jackson Head, who's already scored once tonight.
Great job by Parker Hughes. I think he might have got away with one right there, but no flag, no harm. Great job being able to play in coverage. We know how great he is stopping the run, but to be able to show your versatility as a linebacker, to show you that, hey, he's a next level prospect here.
How many times have we seen flags on underthrown balls that hit the backside of defenders? No call on this one as the Govs go single back, 3rd and goal from the 14. Middle shows blitz, they bring it. Smith stepping up and sacked. Great push up front by Middle Tennessee's front 7 as Brian Stewart bringing the heat on 3rd and goal.
And they say pressure burst pipes, and that's what it did right there. Bursting through the Govs offensive line, allowing them to come up with a great sack right there.
36-yard field goal attempt for Carson Smith. And he got it. 7 straight field goals dating back to last season for Smith, and Middle Tennessee keeps it a 2-score ball game, trailing by 13, but time is a ticking. Less than 13 to go here in the Borough.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford crew.
It's summer event time, Sam. Great time to buy.
A Ford F-Series truck.
Take your pick. Gas, all-electric, hybrid, and diesel. With impressive towing capability for any size to-do list. Like building a house.
A two-story brick colonial.
Or hauling that boat to the lake.
What?
That's actually on my to-do list.
Get 0% limited term APR financing plus 0 down payments plus 0 payments for 90 days plus a complimentary maintenance plan for F-150. Only at your local Ford dealer.
I work with Warren County Nursery here in McMinnville, Tennessee.
I'm very passionate about the hay because that's how I take care of my cows.
So I farm here with my dad.
We raise primarily corn, soybeans, and wheat.
By having that in my background and knowing what the customer expects, I know how to cater to the customer. We're here to provide solutions for our customers.
Going through some of those challenging experiences help you understand maybe the position they're coming from.
Well, yeah, I'll be right there.
It takes all of us to power a community, both in plain sight and behind the scenes. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
Here's a twist on your typical banking options. What if instead of choosing between a big bank or a small bank, you had one bank that's the best of both? That's First Horizon. Big bank muscle with small bank hustle. Big bank convenience and small bank connection. When the best of big meets the best of small, you get it all. To help you on the road to your horizon. First Horizon Bank.
12:48 to go. Middle about to get the ball back, trailing by 13 here in the home opener at the newly renovated Johnny Red Floyd Stadium. New Student Athlete Performance Center, new turf, and a new problem. Trailing by 13 at home against FCS Austin Peay. The Govs looking for their first win against Middle Tennessee in 39 years and their first win against an FBS team since '87. Here's the kickoff return. House up the middle, had one tackle to break. Couldn't do it, but there's the spark that Middle Tennessee needed. As Rishi Ratan, backup defensive back, saved a kick 6. And you might see on that far sideline, number 58 turning into number 22. That's defensive back Trevor Hardy. He wears 58 on kickoffs because Carson Smith, the kicker, is also number 22. So after the kickoffs, they rip off that jersey over his helmet. College football.
Yeah, the double
because you can't have more than 122. Yeah,
the double numbers, man.
Battiato on the play fake, pressured at the 30 and brought down. Swung down for the sack. Jakari Price, the transfer from UCLA.
I'm just confused, Jake, because we see it back-to-back drives. You try to pass on first down, and when you don't have success on first down, normally your drive is going to end in a punt.
So now Middle starting behind the sticks, 2nd and 21. Battiato pressured again. Got to get his feet set, fires it downfield, and just throws it away.
Because right now, Greg Jones is just pinning their ears back and just sending them. Because now you eliminate your best playmaker, Jaquel Middlebrook, who's had success. But when you don't hand him the ball on first down, and then now you get behind the sticks on a 3rd in a bus ride, everybody knows you have to throw, and now the playbook is limited.
Charles Cruz III credited with the hurry for the Govs. Middle 3rd and 21, less than 12 minutes to go, trailing by 13 at home. 3-man rush. Vadiato steps up over the middle. Was looking for Gamarion Carter. And Hardy there to knock it away. And now Middle's got a punt.
Hey, I got to give credit to
It's actually Jalen Williams on the stop there.
And I got to give credit, man, to this Austin Peay secondary, man. They've been locked down all night, strapping them up all night. Seat belt, double seat belt, child lock. They've been balling all night.
Great kick sends Bond back to the 15. Slips out of a few tackles, and Javarius Bond, nothing but green in front of him. Only the punter to beat. Cuts back at the 40. Oh, what a back-breaking return by Javius Bond.
And that was a great job. Touchdown, saving tackle right there by Moaz Byer, but mama there go that man, Javius Bond.
He returned it past the original line of scrimmage, which was the 29 on a 54-yard punt from Ashton Logan. Oh, he's slippery.
Once again for the Wheel of Chaos. It's the Raise the Roof Cam sponsor.
Javius Bond with a return of 55 yards on a 54-yard punt has the Govs in business with 11:30 to go and a really nice first down run.
It gives to number 7, Kate Williams.
As Williams has another carry, his third tonight. And the Govs trying to follow suit of their conference counterparts, Tarleton State, who knocked off Army last night on the road at West Point, 30-27, a last-second field goal. Tarleton State, the favorite in the United Athletic Conference this year, picking up 8 of the 9 preseason votes. The Govs picked 6th in the UAC this year. Smith to throw, almost intercepted, was just a half-second late to Nate Garnett.
And I think The Govs have had a lot of success crossing the faces of the cornerbacks from MTSU. They scored a touchdown on a post route. They had another deep post route on the drive before. So the DBs from the Blue Raiders have to keep inside leverage. You have no help on the inside.
And again, no Chris Parson, the starting quarterback, went to the locker room between the third and fourth quarter. So it's the backup, Austin Smith, who will keep it on third and short. He'll pick up the first down as he is inside the 15. And Middle Tennessee just can't get the key stop when they need it.
No, that's the same play that they scored on a touchdown that they called back. A design QB run, but they have the backside tight end race across the formation to become the lead blocker for the quarterback. And that's what he did. Kicked out on the DN. And Smith was able to pick up the first down.
And of course, that clock ticks after the first down. Handoff, Simmons, and another positive pickup. And now if you're the Govs, you are sitting so pretty. The clock is on your side. You've got a 2-score lead.
Yeah, I think if you're the Govs, you know that, hey, we can be patient. We got the clock on our side. And, man, if we get this touchdown right here, it's pretty much almost over.
Yeah, a touchdown pretty much puts this thing away. A field goal still makes it a 16-point game, so it's still technically 2 scores. But still, the clock is your friend if you're the Govs. 2nd down and 7. Smith on the read to the tight end on the check down. That's Jackson Head. Nice open field tackle.
And another great open field tackle by Muaz Bayer right here. He's been making some key plays for this Blue Raider defense in the second half. Really touchdown saving tackles. Getting his head across.
Bayard had a great camp, really took a big jump this offseason. Going from a sophomore to a junior, got this defensive staff really, really excited about what he'll be able to do this season. And we've called his name several times tonight, but now Austin Peay is going to have to burn there. First time out, some confusion on the offensive side of the ball. And with a big 3rd down and 5 coming up. Jeff Ferris trying to make sure he's got all of his X's and O's lined up and ready to go for this big 3rd down and 5. All right, now let's say you're the defensive coordinator for Middle Tennessee right now. What are you dialing up? Are you coming for the pressure against Austin Smith, making him make a decision?
Well, definitely I'm sending pressure. I think this is kind of a man-to-man call. You want to send pressure, and you just got to hope your DBs are able to answer the call in the one-on-one matchups right now. You got to have a spy, I believe, on the quarterback because they've been doing a little RPOs. But definitely a man call.
Simmons in the backfield with Austin Smith. 3rd down and 5. Smith to throw, gonna tuck it. Smith makes a move at the 5, diving for the goal line. Gonna be just short, but he's gonna be good enough for a 1st and goal for the Govs.
And this is why I don't really like the zone. They went zone on that play because they still could get a 1st down. So now you're dropping back, and they only have 5 yards to go, and you're running the zone. And now all he did was just scramble instead of trying to force the issue by playing man and sending pressure to force the action, not waiting for something to happen when you run zone. Watch for the tight end to come across the motion.
1st and goal from the 2. Smith on the keeper, diving for it. Touchdown, Govs! And the chants of "Let's go Peay" can be heard loud and clear all the way from Clarksville. And this Middle Tennessee crowd is stunned. And it all started with the punt return by Javius Bond, 55 yards to set it up, as Carson Smith will knock through another extra point. And Middle Tennessee has gone from upset alert to code red here at the home opener, trailing by 20 with 7:42 to go here in the ball game. The Austin Peay band with a lot to celebrate, playing the hits tonight as the Govs on top by 20, 34-14. That is the most points that the Govs have scored against an FBS team in Austin Peay football history. And they're doing it on the road against their interstate rival, Middle Tennessee, a team that they have not played in 15 years. This is the first matchup against these two teams since 2010, and a win here tonight would be the first time that the Govs have beaten Middle Tennessee in 39 seasons. So, Jeremy, obviously Middle Tennessee down 20. They have to work quickly. However, that's been when Middle Tennessee's been at their best, but they're running out of time really quickly.
Yeah, now you just have to throw the ball, to be honest.
And that hasn't gone very well for them tonight. Vadiato to throw on first down, and that's exactly how it's gone all night. Vadiato now 9 of 28, 69 yards.
Yeah, I think that you have to be disappointed if you're a Blue Raider fan, and especially, you know, you talk about Coach Mason, and he's so high on Nick Vadiato, and I'm sure 100% positive that Nick Vadiato will bounce back from this game, but just how highly he was talking about him coming into this game from camp and having this type of showing, you have to be a little disappointed.
Yeah, because the name of the game for Vadiato is efficiency. He's a career 66% passer. Here he is flushed out of the pocket, and another pass hitting the receiver in the hands. This time it's Middlebrook. But again, the Govs defense right there to knock it away at the last second.
Yeah, and we talked about speed coming into the game and how much speed this MTSU team had. Over 20 guys, 40 guys running 20 miles per hour, but you see, like, they're not getting a lot of separation from the defenders from Austin Peay.
Third down 10, draw play to Middlebrook, a little room, tries to cut back, picks up 5. And so now it's 4th down and 5. And I don't know. I'm not sure what to say on that one. Fourth down 4, Middlebrook out of the backfield, bobbles it, gets his hands on it, delivers a hit to Ellis, and then stands over him and draws the flag. And you're down 20 at home, and you're going to get a taunting penalty. That's the maturity in the penalties that Derek Mason has talked about all offseason and trying to get rid of.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, offense, number 9. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the run. However, it will still be 1st and 10. This is number 9's first unsportsmanlike foul of the game toward disqualification.
You delivered the hit, you picked up the first down. Cool, doesn't give you 20 points, moves you back 15 yards.
And you know that this is not something that Coach Mason tolerates or even is coaching, so it's just uncharacteristic when you see plays like that.
Middlebrook out of the game. Long pass to Najee Cox. Right at the sticks at the 35. And go ahead and give him a first down. Clock continues to tick. Middle down by 20. 6.5 to go. Vattiato, another quick throw, another long throw. And the clock will continue to run. That's Amarion Walker, transfer in from Michigan. In his first year at Middle Tennessee, he also played both sides of the ball for the Wolverines, wide receiver and defensive back, over the course of 3 years in Ann Arbor. Vattiato checking down, running back out of the backfield. It's Ricky Hunt Jr. Another first down for Middle Tennessee. But again, the clock does not stop after first downs anymore in college football until we get to the 2-minute timeout.
And this is where Coach Jones, he's going to give up the underneath all night long. Now, you got a big lead. Time is on your side. So they're going to let MTSU just chuck away, take time off.
Another long throw to the far side of the field, and man, you got to give credit to this Govs secondary. They have taken away everything down the field past 7 or 8 yards.
Yes, man, they cut the water off for the Blue Raiders all night long. Nothing down the field, no success at all for Nick Vattiato and the receivers down the field. And just, man, you give credit to Coach Jones, the D coordinator for the Govs, man, coming up with a great game plan against this Blue Raider offense.
Another long throw, Cox again, and Vattiato, and the way this offense is running, every throw is, I understand they have to because of the clock, but all night we've seen nothing but long throws to the sidelines. And those are timing throws, and one, the timing hasn't been there, but those are also long throws for minimal gains.
Yes, and you really kind of play into the favor of this 4-2-5 defense. 4-2-5 defense, you're susceptible to the run up the middle, but you got speed on the outside with an extra DB.
And there's a long throw, and completely different pages are Najee Cox and Vattiato.
Yeah, you just see, man, that there's no continuity between Nick Vattiato and the receivers consistently. We see them make a play here or there, but right here, he's open, and he has time. Step into the throw, put it on his numbers. But that's just what happens. That's just the residue of being hit all night, being pressured all night. It's just affecting your throw. You feel pressure even when it's not there, and it prevents you from stepping up and making an accurate throw.
And 4th in the game here for Middle Tennessee. It's 4th and 5. 4-man rush, and down goes Vadiato. T.J. Cox Jr., the Tennessean, might have just sealed it for the Govs.
T.J. Cox Jr. looking like Brian Cox, coming off the edge, closing the game right there for the Govs.
And he just blew right around the right tackle, practically untouched.
And when you talk about defensive ends, young defensive ends at home, one-on-one matchups, learning how to bend, a little Von Miller-esque, bending as you run that hoop to get home to the quarterback.
Austin Smith still in the game for the Govs. He took over in the 4th quarter for Chris Parson, who went back to the locker room. I've seen him jog back there a couple of times. Wow. I think that's all you can say. Middle Tennessee's offense tonight, 173 yards. 0 for 11 on 3rd downs. Not a single 3rd down picked up tonight for Middle Tennessee on offense. And yeah, just no rhythm offensively at all tonight for the Blue Raiders.
Yeah, I just think it's just started from the first drive of the game, you know, not really coming out running the ball. You just come out throwing the ball consistently on 1st downs, putting you behind sticks.
And the last drive, Middle Tennessee had 10 plays, 26 yards. Every time any completed pass has been for 3 or 4 yards. There's been a check down. They've had no vertical game at all tonight, and that was something that this offense was supposed to have this year, was the ability to take the top off defenses with all these transfers that have come in here tonight. When we talked to Coach Mason, he said, I want this offense to average 35 points a game because that's what I think that they're capable of. And it is back to the drawing board after this one tonight for the Blue Raiders. But, man, I tell you what, you have got to tip your cap to the Govs, your top hat, if you will, because they have controlled this game from the kickoff on both sides of the ball. As Austin Smith dives forward on the 3rd down keeper.
And, you know, just talking to Coach Shug, a former coach, former player from the Blue Raiders, and I was just like, man, who do you want to see play tonight? He said everybody.
Yeah.
He was excited about everybody. Even though they have 73 new players on their team, he just was excited to see them come together and play. And he credits that to Coach Ferris and being able to pour consistently into the players and into the team and allowing them to build trust quickly with a new roster. And you see them playing together. It looks like they've been playing together for a few years,
yeah,
not just a few weeks.
High, short punt. And a kick-catch interference, I believe, coming up against the Govs after the punt from Gavin Myers, as the flag is down at the 12-yard line. And looking at Middle Tennessee's schedule, they hit the road next weekend.
Penalty will be enforced. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the spot of the foul, 1st down.
They head to Camp Randall next weekend to take on Wisconsin, who struggled last night, lost their starting quarterback, but still you're going to Camp Randall against a Big Ten team. And then you're also hitting the road after that to take on Nevada, and then you're back home against Marshall before you start conference play against Kennesaw State. So this game was so important for Middle Tennessee in so many ways. And the fact that they came out and played the way they did, how do you rebound from that if you're a coaching staff? How do you not let your guys hang their head and say, hey, we got to fix this fast?
Well, you definitely go in and say, hey, it's just one game. And just being a competitor, being an athlete, you can't let one game beat you twice. But to be honest also, though, you go in with a lot of questions because you still don't know who you are as a team. You just played an FCS opponent. You gave up 34 points, and you didn't play well in either phase of the game. And the best place you played well at is on the D-line, which was great. And in the first half, you didn't have any penalties. But then this half, you have multiple penalties. So you just really have a lot of question marks going into this next game.
We'll step aside for the 2-minute timeout. When we come back, all Govs all night long.
For 75.
Roman Gagliano in for Middle Tennessee, and he's going to be sacked. TJ Cox yet again.
Gagliano is sacked.
And rub your eyes all you want. The score is the score. Austin Peay on top by 20, less than 2 minutes to go. Gagliano to throw again, and he's brought down yet again. And the Govs have been relentless all night long.
Jacob Neely and TJ Cox.
TJ Cox again. And Jacob Neely, who is the Gov getting checked on the turf after making the play. But man, from the jump, from the kickoff, Austin Peay from start to finish has been so impressive tonight.
So impressive, man. And I said it early in the game, just looking, I said that Austin Peay just looks like the faster team. And to be honest, they look like they're the FBS team, to be honest. They're playing more physical than MTSU. They're dominating the line of scrimmage. They're winning at the point of attack.
That was Cox actually getting helped up off the turf. Apologies. Seems like he's all right. What a night he has had tonight. A couple of big sacks here in the fourth quarter to put this thing away for the Govs. So I will admit I don't know a ton about the United Athletic Conference. I know it's rather new in the last few years. I know the Govs won it in the inaugural season a couple years ago, as Jeff Ferris is going to burn a timeout. I know the Govs were picked 6th in the conference, but I don't know. I think the rest of the conference needs to be on high alert for that team from Clarksville. because that's now 2 wins against FBS teams in the last 2 nights. Tarleton State knocking off Army last night, an Army team that was very good last year. And then here tonight, the Govs just throttling Middle Tennessee at home.
Yeah, I think this is why you have to love college football, especially opening weekend, man, because anything that can happen will happen. And really, this week is really like the best chance to have upsets. Both teams, there's no preseason in college football, so you just lay it all out on the line in game number 1. And sometimes the best team doesn't win, but tonight I must say that Austin Peay looks like the best team on the field.
And Middle Tennessee might be thinking, hey, we need to schedule these guys 15 years from now after this one.
And I understand why you schedule in-state games, and you even schedule FCS opponents, and just like a Power 5 may schedule a a Power 4 school may schedule a non-Power 5 school. I understand that in the opening week, but when you do lose games like this, they hurt worse.
And the Govs in victory formation. Middle does have 3 timeouts, but it's a moot point. I believe Middle came into this game a 15.5-point favorite. I think that's what I saw the last I looked. Gov said, forget about that.
Yeah, this is why you play the game. Like, if you're a player, you're never going to look at the spread and who's a favorite or not. Like, you're stepping on the field. You went to high school with some of these same players. You just, end up going to different colleges, and you just go out there and play, man. And that's what we've seen today.
And I think Jeff Ferris is getting the Gatorade treatment.
Well deserved, man. Well deserved.
One of the biggest wins in school history for the Govs. They knock off an FBS opponent for the first time since 1987 as the Govs come to Murfreesboro and lay down the law. Let's go, Peay, indeed. A 20-point win on the road to open up the season for Austin Peay. Shocking result tonight here in Murfreesboro. Hugs and Gatorade baths all around for the team in red, as that is going to be one sweet, sweet bus ride 72 miles north back to Clarksville, as Justin Beasley is with the winning coach, Jeff Ferris.
Coach, you got the hug, the Gatorade bath. You win by 20 as a sizable underdog. What are you most proud of here?
Sir, I think sizable underdog's an understatement. The last time this happened, I wasn't born. The credit goes to the players. Less than 2 years ago, we had an empty locker room, but the right kids stayed. The right kids recruited great kids that love Austin Peay and have worked their tails off. Our community has stepped up in a huge way. The entire state and our assistant coaching staff has worked every day since we've got hired. I'm so blessed to be a part of Austin Peay State University. What a great game.
Last FBS win like this was 1987, but where did the belief come from in the hearts of your players and you?
Our mission changed on May 6th. We say every day we want to honor Will Hardrick with our thoughts, words, and actions. Irvin Stone came and talked to our team last night. He'll be in the locker room celebrating, but we have a different purpose. And these kids every single day have raised the governor's standard, and I couldn't be more proud of this group. And they've made me better every single day.
Big picture, is the gap closing between FBS and FCS?
That's not my job. My job is to coach these players as hard as humanly possible and to love them as hard as I can, and they are unbelievable.
Can we get an update on Chris Parsons?
Yeah, Chris Parsons is a tough son of a gun. He's doing every he can to play. I love him. We'll find out more later.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Let's go, Peay. Jack, Eli, and Cal, go to sleep. Thank you.
He's football coach, but he's also dad, telling the kids to go back to sleep. And he's got the biggest win of his young career as the head football coach of Austin Peay, as this is one of the biggest wins in school history for the Govs, and it comes at the cost of their in-state rival, Middle Tennessee. And Jeremy, just to put it in, how do you put this in perspective if you're the Blue Raiders?
If you're the Blue Raiders, you just have to understand, man, it's only one game. And you have to look inside, look in the mirror, and realize that it's a lot of work that must be done. You play a bigger and probably better opponent even next week in a tougher environment. So you can't let one game destroy the whole season, but it's a lot of work that needs to be done if they're going to bounce back and compete for a Conference USA championship this year.
The motto this year is "We Will," to honor the late Will Hardrick, the Govs teammate. And the Govs tonight, well, they did it. They absolutely did it, and they did it for him. An absolute stunner as the Govs come to Murfreesboro and pick up their first FBS win since 1987 and their first win against the Blue Raiders in 39 years. And they did it from the kick. For Justin Beasley and Jeremy Kellum and our entire media arts production crew, I'm Jake Rose saying so long from the Borough. We'll see you in a couple weeks when Middle takes on Marshall. Final score tonight, Austin Peay 34, Middle Tennessee 14. This has been a production of ESPN. All games airing are live and archived on the ESPN app. From the Borough, good night.